Sometimes the world just needs a hero to help cut through all the noise.
Well, now you have two.
Good morning, good evening, and good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the 25th episode of the Heroes of Noise podcast. I'm your host, Steve.
What's up, everybody? My name's Dan. Welcome. A quarter of the way, Steve. A quarter of the way.
20.
Can you imagine that we're going to be at 100 one day when we can actually say, welcome to episode 100? That's blowing my mind. Like, see, Steve and I are old, guys. So, like, we were actually just going, okay, what episode are we on right now? We actually had to, think about it.
We did.
So it's cool that we have that many where we actually have to think about it. But at the same time, we're getting fucking old, Steve.
Look, dude, let's be real. We're getting to the point where, this happened a while ago, where stuff we listen to on our normal lives are on oldie stations now. Like, we'll listen to a song on the oldie station, but that's not old. And we're like, oh no, it is.
You're not kidding. You're so not kidding, man. Just the other day I had turned on, it was like iHeartRadio, no plug, but that's what it was. And I guess that is a plug. But anyway, I turned that on and it was a classic rock station, right? And they played Green Day, dude. I was like, oh my God. That's so sad.
What song, though?
Actually, it was off of American Idiot. That album's only like 15 years old, man.
Dude,
so
that's not even Dookie.
Look at you calling out Dookie. Now, you remember that, though, because of the name, huh?
No, I remember because, in my high school, here's where the big things were in my high school. Other than me, I was the one NWA person. In my high school, there was Green Day, Nirvana, Metallica. Those were the females or the women loved girls. The girls loved Backstreet Boys. Or not Backstreet Boys. No. They liked who are the first ones? Please Don't Go Girl.
Oh, NKOTB?
Yes, they loved them. But there was only three other groups: Metallica, Nirvana, and Green Day. So that's the only reason I knew them, because people just loved those guys, man. Because they came out in 96?
Yeah, so I think you're actually thinking of like NSYNC instead of NKOTB, right?
Oh, it might be. No, NSYNC wasn't even thought of in 96.
No, we're already going to start these silly debates, but I'm thinking that the new kids were like in the 80s, if I'm not mistaken.
They might be, dude. So who am I?
Jesus. Or the early 90s now. Oh my God, we don't even remember anymore, man.
Yeah, because I graduated in 96. And so in my high school, it was NKOTB. And
it was right. It was early 90s.
Yeah, 92, 93.
Yep, you're right. I remember for my sister's birthday, I went to, there used to be this place called Record Factory.
Yeah.
And I went or maybe it was Sam Goody. It's really besides the point. But I went in there and I remember I had a Slayer shirt on. And I bought my sister a New Kids on the Block CD. And they were looking at me like, for you? Like, nah.
No.
Nah, Meg. No. But then, of course, I bumped it because, guilty pleasures.
They had this one song called Tonight that when it comes on, I still just like, man, this song was the lick, man. But no one, I don't know if it was a popular single, but it was a dope, look, man, every group that you hate, except for, did they have one? I don't know one Backstreet Boys song I liked. Oh, by the way, everybody, this is going to be a bullcrapping episode where we're not going to have a general thing. We're just going to bullcrap and just go off the top of the dome tonight because it just felt like a cool, chill, catch up with Dan sort of day. Is that what you're feeling, Dan?
Totally. That's what I'm feeling. I believe, and I hope this isn't tacky, but, we were referring to this as we are just going to raw dog it this episode. Sorry, man. It's true. Let's be real. We were calling it that. And I think I shall call this episode in the notes raw dogging it. That's what it's going to be. But look at it this way. That's going to pop up in the YouTube and the iTunes. People are going to be like, oh, I want to hear
what does that mean?
I really want to hear an episode about raw dogging it. And we're going to pop up.
But so anyway, Backstreet Boys. Do you have a song from the Backstreet Boys you like? And if so, what is that song?
So are we just talking about the Backstreet Boys, or are we talking about all those boy bands?
I know that there's a good song in all the other ones. Backstreet Boys, I don't know.
Well, let's break them down.
Okay.
Let's break them down. So I'll tell you right now that when those songs were popular, I didn't let anyone know, but yeah, there was I think each band had a song.
Well, I think,
but there wasn't that many. So I'm thinking NSYNC.
Okay.
Backstreet Boys, and
we can't put New Edition because I think a lot of their songs were good. I think New Edition just had a bunch of good songs.
And they were kind of like, even though they were like a boy band, they didn't really come out in that quote unquote boy band phase.
No, I think their manager was like, I think I could make this a thing. And he made it a thing. You know what I'm saying? But before, he was just making a good group. And he was like, I think I could carbon copy this in white America and make it just as popular. And he did.
He absolutely did.
He absolutely. And the thing is, you can see who's who. Like Ralph, the high singer, Ralph Tresvant, then he found another high singer it was almost like he's like, I need a person for each. The bad boy. We need a bad boy in each group. Bobby Brown. And it's just so weird how he did it. He's like, yeah, I just got to carbon copy it.
Well, like, doesn't it make sense though that I don't know if there's I don't know if my terminology is right. I know there's such a thing as 4-part harmony. But is there a 5-part harmony? Like, does it just keep going up depending on how many people you have?
There's a 6-part harmony.
Okay. So then I think they were just going for 5-part harmony, right? Like everyone had their own thing.
They were trying to go for everyone had their, because he knew that not everybody could sing. He knew in New Edition, Ralph Tresvant and like a few other people did all the parts. But, they just showed up for live, in the live stuff, everybody sung. Johnny Gills did a lot of the parts too. So he was able to say, well, technically we don't need everyone to be able to sing. Because in the studio, we could just make other people do the parts. You know what I'm saying? So he didn't really need a bunch of singers. He needed people that fit a part. And everyone fit the part in all of his groups.
I always forget that Johnny Gill was a part of it because he came on later, right?
Yes. I forget too sometimes because I just knew Johnny Gill later. Then I was like, oh, Johnny Gill was part of New Edition? I didn't know that.
So I guess like Johnny Gill is kind of like the Shemp of New Edition.
What's Shemp mean?
From like Three Stooges? I guess that joke. That's a white joke. That's a white joke. That's old, ladies and gentlemen. I just hit Steve with an old white joke. And he didn't get it.
Jesus.
But some of you got it.
No more How Black is Dan quizzes for Dan. Jesus. Wow.
Oh, get out of here, man. It's the Three fucking Stooges. Come on.
Dude, nobody knows what Shemp is.
I seriously doubt that. Maybe this circle of people, these listeners out there, but no. Grown-ass men know who Shemp is.
Hell no. I don't believe that at all. I think if you went to 10 grown men that were in our age group, maybe 4 of them would know. Maybe 4 of them would know. And I'm saying in Clovis.
We got the boys out in UK. I think they're going to represent for me here. I guarantee
they don't know who the hell
if the Three
Shemp
Stooges
is.
reached that far out there, and I'm sure they did, they're going to know who Shemp is.
Bruh. Maybe Mick
will definitely know.
Might. Johnny Bucks will not.
I think Johnny will know. Mick will be like, I've got no fucking idea, mate. You're on your own on this one, lad.
I know, be like, hey, what is a Shemp? What did you just call me?
No.
I'm saying.
How's that, mate?
Gee, that is the last thing I want to hear. We're all laughing in England, having fun, enjoying, and I say some random thing, and he's like, how's that? I'm like, uh-oh. Everybody turns around in the bar and looks at me. I'm like, oh, no, I pissed off Mick C.
You get pin drop silence, and he says, say that again to me face.
And then someone else sticks up for me from the bar. No, Mick, no. He didn't mean what you think.
It's not worth it, mate. So stupid. Sorry, Mick, but God damn it, you've got the best voice though, man. By the way, ladies and gentlemen, I'm hoping that you liked our little drops that we did for Mick last week. I think that's something that we're going to start doing. What are your thoughts on that, man?
Oh, for sure. I'm sorry, I'm still thinking about our stupid scene we put together. And the thing is, it's so real in my brain now. I got to remember it didn't happen. Like if I go to London, I'm going to accidentally say, you know what else happened? I'm like, wait a minute, I made that up. That didn't happen at all. Mick never threatened me. And in my brain, but that is such a real possibility for me. But anyway, dude, look, I think it'll be fun. Our boys from over, what did we say? Across the
pond, man.
Do we say across the pond?
Yes.
Do we say that for anything else?
No.
Why not?
What else would we say it about?
Anything that's overseas.
Yeah, it's anything overseas is across the pond.
Really?
I thought. You're talking to a guy that hasn't really left California but like twice. So, or no, twice.
So if I say I'm going to Hawaii and if I say I'm going across the pond, people will know that it's Hawaii?
I don't think that counts because it's a part of the United States.
It's still across the pond, though.
Hey, man, why you got to be an asshole about this, dude?
No, I don't know, because you're the first one that I was like, oh, snap. I guess people do say that, but I wonder why they keep it to, I think I've only heard it for like London.
Maybe it is. You know what? We'll have to go to Google one of these days, and when it seems important, we'll go.
You know what? It's important. Right, you know what? No, but Mick, look. Anytime you get to hear Mick for 4 minutes, what more can you ask for, really? It'll be hopefully we can get Johnny Bucks and Mick one of these times for the banter between the two of those with a well, I oughta, because that's what they say all the time.
Why I oughta? I don't think they've ever said that once. just saying.
I really want to get them on for a quiz. I have a quiz to see how much they know about London. I actually had one ready for Johnny Bucks. We just never got around to it.
You're just babbling away.
Well, the quiz was called Who's Johnny? And I had a bunch of Johns from entertainment and see if he who knew who they were. That was actually genius.
You know, we actually hired a British voiceover. He had a brilliant voice for this bumper that we did. Wasn't he great?
He was actually very impressive. You could tell that and he was good for it being a first time, knowing that because he didn't sound like great, but you could tell it was his first time. He was nervous, and I gave him that. And it's just weird how it came through in the recording. It was decent, but for a first time, I mean, come on, man, you got to give him a little breathing room, you know?
Totally. I don't even know what you're talking about. I was talking about the bumper guy. How are we doing, ladies and gentlemen? See what happens when we don't have structure? But that's okay. Who cares?
This. I love this.
I actually like it too. What do you guys think? Let us know.
Oh, dude. On another subject. Ladies and gentlemen, I got a bidet.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You know what? We talked about it, but we did not actually talk about it on the show. Have you installed it yet?
No. I have not installed it yet, but looking at it, I can change the temperature on it. I can set it for warm to cold for those times that you want a little bit of a different, like a thing to wake you up a bit. If you put it cold, it kind of wakes you up. It gives you a bit of a how's your father, as Austin Powers would say. And so it
brings the temp down for Captain Winky.
I'm looking forward to putting it on. It's actually one that you mount under the actual toilet seat, and so I got to take the top part off and then put it on and put it back on. And gee,
so I do have a question with these ones that are mountable.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Sorry to take it to this level, but I have to know.
Yes.
So what happens when let's say you got the flu? And it's you're a little explosive. Does that just get all over the bidet? And if it does it have like a self-cleaning thing on it or anything?
I think you have to. If it's explosive, I do believe you have to wipe it off.
Oh man, that's all wrong.
But it's for the thing is, it would have to be crazy because it's pointed. It's like from the back pointing forward, so it would have to be fairly explosive for that to happen.
I got to get a viz on this, man. I think you need to actually take a picture.
Yes,
take a picture, and then we'll actually blog about this, about Steve's bidet.
Gee, and here's the thing. I think this is how it's supposed to be. I really do. I really think it's how it's supposed to be because there's no way we're doing this right. No way.
Yeah, but right now it's all speculation on your part because you haven't road tested it yet. This is
true.
So
I have not road tested it. I will.
So I don't want to hear word one about this thing, Steve, until you've actually got that bad boy on and you have splashed the wagon wheel and I want to know, did you get clean?
Oh,
did you have to utilize any of your existing TP? Did it do the job thoroughly? Maybe this could be like,
it's going to be a blog. It's going to be like an video
unboxing
blog.
video.
Yeah, there we go. And then I'll actually I'll videotape myself putting it together and maybe I could speed it up. And then I'll videotape myself using it from the face up. and I'll
Gonna have to
videotape
mute the
myself
sounds though, man.
turning on the water and my facial reaction to said water hitting El Tush, and I will let you guys know how it is. Because look, this is my first time ever. Some people have said, "Hey, I've been to a hotel that had one," and I'm like, "Oh, well, it's not going to be such a shock. If you buy one, you're just reliving this situation." For me, I've never used one. Have you?
No, I haven't either. So I'm actually really excited to hear about this.
Well, technically, every house has a bidet.
Well, a shower.
Yeah, exactly.
If you have like a, you know, the shower heads that are detachable. And
yeah.
So essentially, that's kind of the same thing, I would assume.
Wait a minute.
Does it have different? Does it have different patterns? Like, can it go?
No, it's just a spray. It's just a spray, and you turn it. Now you can put how forceful you want said spray.
Go on.
Yes, you can make it super forceful. You can make it like more of a peeing fountain forceful. That sort of thing. Okay.
All right.
So, I mean, it's a lot of settings that and it doesn't seem too difficult to put on. It's just like, disconnecting one thing, reconnecting it, putting it on. I think the hardest thing is going to be the toilet seat reconnect. Like, have you ever taken a toilet seat off?
I have, but like one time.
What? Is it easy?
Well, nothing's easy. If it involves tools, nothing is easy for me. I am not a handicap.
Dude,
like, let me tell you, I literally fucked up putting a big wheel together for my kid. I fucked it up so bad, dude, I couldn't take it apart. I had to take it back.
Oh, my God.
That was a total walk of shame walking into that place. Like, I just messed this up. They were really nice to me. They looked at me like, okay, you poor dumb bastard. And they gave me a new big wheel. But, yeah, I'm pretty unhandy.
Same with me when people were just like, I said, I'm going to get a new SIG. Oh, why don't you put it on yourself? I'm old enough to know, it's not in my wheelhouse. No, just watch a YouTube video. No, I'm not going to do that. This is not my gifting. I know what to pay someone for and what I can do for myself. Now, if it's like me giving them Logic Pro recording software and I'm like, just YouTube how to use it. Well, I mean, I don't exactly, because this isn't your thing. You can't just YouTube that and just figure it out that quick. I need someone to show me, or I will pay someone to put in a sink. Some people would just start demolishing their bathroom and somehow figure it out. I'm not that person.
You know what? I'm actually making myself sound worse than I really am. I'm not that bad. You don't want to hire me. Let's just say that. But I have utilized YouTube before. Like, I changed out motor mounts one time with a buddy. Like, that was kind of supervising. What else did I do? Brake pads I did one time. And usually, though, I use that shit for cooking, man, because I make some bomb-ass food with YouTube.
Do you really?
Oh, yeah. You know what I did the other day?
What's that?
I'm sorry, guys. Like, I'm really sorry if you want to hear us talking about, like, what we watched, but it's not happening today.
Nah, son.
You know what I did the other day, man? I watched a YouTube video, and this is what I watched. I watched a YouTube video of Gordon Ramsay, and I have, like, this cast iron skillet. And I made, like, the most ridiculous steaks. Like, I'm not even fronting it. They were, I know you're not a meat guy, so this is not going to, like, go, oh, tell me more. But, dude, let me tell you the process, all right?
Please.
So I got these steaks, man, and I heated up my pan because, I don't know if you know this, but cast iron skillets, like, they just maintain heat really well, very evenly. And
is this a thing, or is this a thing that might be in people? I've heard them say this. But is this real? Hey, Steve, you really need to get yourself a cast iron skillet. I mean, it will make everything, it just holds heat. Does it, or is it just a
No,
thing
it really
people
does.
say?
No, it really does.
We're going to get into this
for sure
now.
Does.
What kind of steaks did you buy?
Actually, I did not buy, like, super, like, I wasn't going to go and rock some porterhouses or something like that when I was like, experimenting. So I just went with some, like, cheaper New York steaks. But they were freaking bomb. I got to tell you what. So this is the process, my friend.
Okay, here we go.
You get that pan nice and hot because, as I told you, Steve, it actually maintains the heat very well.
As we previously have discussed.
As previously alluded to. So then I drizzle a little bit of olive oil up in that bitch.
Ooh.
And you got to be careful with the oil, sir. You got to be careful with the oil because if you use something that has like a high smoke content,
yes,
which I'll get to in just a second because I didn't get out of this unscathed. Yes. But, technically, I guess you're supposed to be using olive oil from what I understand. So if there are any cooks out there and I'm wrong, please tell me because this is what Gordon did. but it didn't quite work out the way Gordon did it, the way I did it. But the steak still came out amazing. So then you pop that bad boy on there, and then so it's like cooking, right? Because that's what it does when you put it into a pan that's hot. And but then I threw some butter into this bitch, right? Yes. And then the combination of the oil and the butter melting, I was just basically basting the steak the entire time that it was on one side. Yes. Over and over throughout the whole process. And then eventually you flip it and you do the same thing. You get it to a nice medium rare and it's bomb. So that's really how it's really like that simple. Oh, and don't forget the aromatics, man. You got to throw a little bit of I think you gave me shit about this one time. But I threw a little bit of rosemary and thyme in it, for good measure.
I swear, this dude cooks like freaking Simon and Garfunkel. His cooking is like a Garfunkel song. Like, you know what I really like? What? The sound of silence. I like silence in the kitchen. I'm like, Jesus, dude.
I was just basting the steak talking about, are you going to Scarborough Fair? Gail's like, what are you singing? I'm like, nah, nothing.
I'm cooking. Just chill.
Nothing. Just chill. Just watch TV.
Yes.
I just had to hum it, so she didn't make fun of me.
Did you really use rosemary and thyme, G?
I was about to tell you that no, I didn't. However, I would have. I just forgot to get it at the store. But next time it's on. Dude. So... here's the deal. Like I said, it didn't go as well as I wanted it to. The steaks came out amazing, but that's bullshit about. There's one thing about the cast iron skillets, and I don't know how to fix this. My whole house looked like it was on fire. Like, I'm not joking. Like, it was so smoky. I had to open up all the windows. I opened up all the windows, and like my dog wouldn't even come in. That's how smoky it was.
Kidding me?
Yeah.
I
had all the
and your
fans
smoke
going.
alarm didn't go crazy?
No, because I had the fans going, but it was still super smoky. I don't really know. Maybe it's time to change the battery because it seems like it really should have gone off. Dude, there's a whole bunch of shit that I'm all fucked up with right now, and I'll get to it in a second. But it all it all involves This Is Us. So
wow. As
I'm doing this and the smoke alarm is not going off, I'm thinking of a particular episode.
Oh man, dude, you better get that thing fixed.
But now I'm really fucked up because Gail brought home a crock pot.
Oh my, what is she doing?
That's what I said. And she's like, oh, you're crazy. And I go, well, how much did you spend on it? And she told me how much she spent on it. She got a really good deal on it. But I'm a you get what you pay for kind of cat. Do you know what I'm saying?
I guess it was $1.50 and you're like, wait, what?
Yeah.
How did you get
that? She's like, no, that's what they go for. I'm all, yeah, that's what they go for when they're cheap.
Yes.
But please spend the money. I want to live, I'm not trying to die over some 3-bean soup.
Was it Crock-Pot brand? Or
yes.
was it an off-brand? Well,
I believe it is a Crock-Pot brand.
Then I think it's dude, you're fine.
Yeah, it worked out real well for Jack.
Yo, you ain't lying, dog. Whew. Jeez, now so when you made this wonderful meal, and the smoke was going all over the place.
Yep.
Was the aroma good, or did it smell like smoke in your house?
No, the aroma was amazing. Like, I'm not kidding. These steaks were amazing, dude. I'm usually a barbecue guy, but I think I'm going to have to start going with the whole... Like, I got to figure out how not to make my house so smoky, and I'm sure there's a way. I don't know if I have a cheap pan. I don't think I do. It's all seasoned and everything, but... You
seasoned your pan?
Yeah, you got to season the pan, G. You don't know about this?
Do that? No, okay, wait, time out. Okay, here's my issue. When I bought a wok, they said that I had to I had to do something to the wok, so I gave it to my sister. I said, I'm not going to do this. This is bull crap. So I gave it to my sister. What do you mean seasoning? Please tell the listener when you buy a cast iron skillet why you have to season it and why it isn't seasoned before you spend money on said skillet.
Hello, and welcome to Cooking with Dan and Steve.
Gee, okay.
Today, we are talking about how to season a cast iron skillet.
Look, G.
First of all,
how much you pay for it? How much you pay for it?
I really don't know, actually, because I think Gail bought it.
Let's just say it was $70.
Okay, let's say that.
Wouldn't you expect it to be seasoned?
You can do that. You can buy pre-seasoned ones.
There we go. Okay, cool.
If you're a sissy. But no, I'm just kidding. I don't know. You know what it is? I wanted to do the whole thing because you know how I don't know how much you know about these things, but I've been watching a ton of videos about cooking over the last couple of years. Ever since I got that egg. And there's something to be said about all the guys, for some reason, they all talk like this on the cooking shows. If you're talking about barbecue, they're gonna, it's just gonna be real good. So what I did was, that's how they talk on the show.
I would immediately run away from the computer then.
Yeah, it's just you got to use some olive oil.
I just like the Confederate flag because it means something to my family.
Why we got to go there though? Mr. Everything's Racist suddenly goes racist on me.
I could teach you how to cook. You know what? I'm gonna pass. How about we do it at my house? Can we do that?
I'm going to teach you how to do this here, but first of all, I'm going to go ahead and get my black maid to do it for me. So
she's like family. She's
like family. She's like family that sleeps outside. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
I'm not watching. I can't watch these videos, dog.
The guy that I'm talking about, is it Malcolm Reed? His name's Malcolm Reed. Now, the poor guy looks like he's about to explode. He's not. It's terrible to say that, but he doesn't look like the healthiest cat in the world. But I think he's a nice guy. You can't hate on someone because they have a southern accent, man.
Of course not. No, not at all.
Yeah.
No.
But that's what you did, Steve. That's all I'm saying. See, now you have me off on another. We went from seasoning pans to racism again.
Okay, here's the thing. Okay. Dan, how did you season your cast iron skillet?
Aren't you glad this shit is free, guys? But anyway, I'll answer your question. You gotta coat it in oil. Like Crisco, I believe, is what some people use. I used canola oil, my friend, because that's what came with the pan. And then you get it all nice and coated like that. You never wash the pan, by the way. You don't use soap on the pan.
Wow.
So you clean it off, you get it all dry, and then you coat it with oil, and then you put that bad boy in the oven for I think it's maybe an hour or two.
Okay.
I would have to watch the video again, but yeah, on for an hour or two, and you cook it at I think it's 400 degrees or something like that, and it just bakes that oil coating on the pan, and eventually you end up with this nonstick pan. So I know this is super boring, guys, but I fucking love my cast iron.
It's really not. It's really not, dude. I'm fairly enamored by this. I think I might buy a cast because look.
But what are you gonna cook on it? Lettuce?
Okay, number one, I can't cook lettuce because there's a recall. That's number one. Number two, eggs are a big thing. For instance, I'm just gonna let you know. I know she doesn't want her business put out there, but the compagnon has a thing that she cooks. It's just it's going to sound ridiculous. It's a tater tot burrito, which is amazing. I know it sounds crazy, but it's amazing.
Not at all. No,
and so
not at all. That sounds good. So you dating a white girl is what you're saying?
Yeah. So what she did was...
She makes an amazing fish stick casserole that is... You're going to love it. You put some Velveeta on top of it. And then you pour some cream of mushroom soup on it. It's amazing.
It was because my son even ate it. He's like, "Why have we not thought about this before?" I was like, "You know what? I don't know." And so he made eggs today for his tater tot burrito, a massive thing of eggs. But the pan, no matter how much stuff we spray on it, it
makes it stick.
Yes, dude. No matter how much we stick on it. So I'm just like, you know what? This said it was a nonstick pan before. I don't believe them anymore. So if you're telling me if I get a good quality cast iron skillet and I season it, chances are eggs won't stick to it.
But you still have to scrape the pan. It's not saying that you're not going to get residue and stuff on it. Particularly when I was doing these steaks, the reason that I was basting them and everything is because you wanted to do a crust on the steak.
That sounds really good, actually.
Dude, I'm telling you, it's so good. I'll stop that vegetarian shit in its tracks if you come over to this house. I'm telling you right now.
I have you know what's funny? Oh, this is going to be a tangent. Okay, here's the thing. They're trying to figure out how to print meat. And so now some vegetarians are saying, well, if they print meat, if you eat it, are you not a vegetarian? Because it's technically not coming from a dead body.
Man, I don't want to live in a time where we can print meat.
Yes, you do.
That doesn't sound right to me, man. That's some George Jetson shit.
But it's perfect. There is no, it has imperfections. It is a perfect slab of meat.
It depends on what you call perfect. So how are you going to be able to get how are you going to be able to get all that marbling?
What does the marbling mean again?
Marbling is when you have a really good cut of meat and it has you've seen this before. In between the striations of the red meat, you have these lines of fat. But it's not big nasty chunks of fat. It's they're think of like this is nothing like what it really looks like, but think of like lightning streaks through the meat, but it's all like fat.
Oh,
and when
yeah,
dude. And when that shit cooks down, it just makes oh my god.
I
don't know
remember
how you don't eat meat, dude. I
No,
don't know how.
The first great steak I actually ate was back when I was a married man. My father-in-law made a steak, and I was like, I'm not a steak person. He's like, he had a very, very, very deep voice. He was like a he had the voice. Mix? Dude, no, he had a voice like that person from the Neverending Story was like, I used to have strong hands. He had that voice so much that I used to ask him to do it for my birthday. He would just send me a message saying, there were such strong hands. And that's it. He's like, trust me, Steve, you're going to love this cut of meat. I'm like, man, I'm not trying to. And I ate it. I said, oh, this is what steak is supposed to taste like.
Yeah, man.
I did not. And I've been to really good steak places, and they didn't taste as good as him making it out in his farm, like actually cooking it on his land. And I ate it, and I was like, maybe it's the air, maybe it's the groove, but whatever it is. Now, I'm not a big person with a lot of blood all over the place, but I used to eat it like that. There would be like redness just coming off of the meat.
Yeah, you like a medium rare, pink in the middle.
Yes.
Little juice. Yeah, that's how I eat my meat. Man.
It was crazy. But the thing is, I could eat like 3 of them. Two. I could eat 2 steaks. And it would kind of stop me up a little.
Oh, I got a story for you. Yeah, they do that sometimes.
I can't. Go to the story, G. Tell me the story.
So this was like, I don't know. This is probably like over 10 years ago, but it was me and a couple of friends.
Oh, yeah?
And we were, I don't know what was going on. I think because it was all on that. Remember I told you how I used to live in the Tower District? I lived on that street, and there was like a bunch of couples and stuff like that. Remember me telling you about that? So it was like myself, and then my buddy across the street, and then a guy that was like he's like eternal bachelor.
Yes.
And I think the girls were doing, the women, the ladies were doing something. They all went out. We decided that we were going to go to this place called Cattleman's. So if you're in the, like the San Joaquin Valley area, Fresno area, Cattleman's. That shit is good. So we go to this place. We may or may not have been fueled by herbs. So we had an appetite. That's what I'm getting at. And maybe we did. I don't know. I'm just saying. Maybe. Who knows? I could be lying.
Who knows? Life is funny.
We went to the steakhouse, and what was it? Yeah. So I was trying to remember the number on this thing here. We each purchased a 32-ounce steak. So,
That's a massive steak, dude.
I'd like 2 pounds of meat, please. That's what we asked for.
That is a grip of steak, dude.
So, you're not lying. It was. So, one of the guys that we were with he's a large guy. Mm-hmm. He was 3+, tall, 3+, and he had an appetite. He could eat like crazy, and he was a food connoisseur. But even he had the smarts to be like, nah, I'm just going to take my time.
He said, nah.
Now you get little Dan, 5'7". Oh, back then I was probably like 160, maybe. Oh, maybe even. I was about 160 because I was running a lot. No, I was running a lot, so I had a big appetite, but I was like super toned and thin, Okay. And so I think I can handle this, man. My appetite says I can handle this. I'm gonna go ahead and do this. You know what I'm gonna do, guys? I'm just gonna eat it to be stupid, and I did.
The whole thing?
Yes.
Dan, you did not eat that whole thing.
I don't even care. I didn't shit for a week, bro. That is no lie. Not like around a week. Not a business week. I did not have a bowel movement for 7 days.
Were you worried?
Yeah, I was worried. Like my stomach was all bloated. I'd be like, just sitting around because, I couldn't move. It was bad.
That is so funny, dog.
Yeah, it was bad. So, yeah, it can do that if you're not careful, man.
I'm surprised you didn't just puke, dude. That's a lot of food.
It was wonderful at the time. It was wonderful. But, I mean, I think I probably went into a food coma. I'm pretty sure I fell asleep on the way home from California.
So you could not even
do
that today. No way.
No, I don't have the stomach for it today, man. I eat like a bird now.
I never see you eat, dude.
Well, how? We work. I'm not going to be chowing down at work.
I know, but normally you at least see people say, okay, I'm going to take my lunch or I'm going to take a break and get something to eat. you don't really do like if someone brings in something, you'll eat on the fly, but it's not eating a full meal though. Like how many full meals do you have in a day? A full meal.
You mean like a three-course meal, or what are you talking
No,
about?
like a good plate of food, like a plate of food where you're just like, I am sustained.
Well, I rarely eat breakfast unless it's the weekend, and even then I don't sometimes. Lunch, I'll usually have like a full. I'll go and I'll either bring something or I'll go and grab something, but it's it's a meal. And then dinner time comes around, and excuse me, sounds like I ate right now, a little gassy. Yeah, I mean, I eat. I eat just like.
Do you?
The next American guy. Yeah.
No, you eat less than the normal
I eat
American.
like your average American dude. Maybe not your average American dude.
Yeah.
Maybe like more like a European. I don't know. I don't even know how they eat. I think I eat like a Chinese guy.
You eat very little.
Sometimes. But yes, lately I've been kind of just sort of eating like a bird. I don't know why that is.
You're not very hungry?
It just depends. I don't know. I think I just get sick of like everyday food, but I wait until it's like something amazing, and then I'll tear it up. Like if Gail makes there's certain things that she makes that I really love, and I won't stop eating it.
What is that? Like, what are these things that, what would be a thing where Dan will gorge himself if that is placed in front of him?
That she makes, or just in general?
That she makes.
I really like her chicken enchiladas, man. Like they're amazing. And what else?
Wait a minute. Are you saying Gail?
Okay, don't get racist now. Don't get racist.
Great chicken enchiladas.
She makes amazing.
Okay,
great,
that's interesting.
Steve. Amazing chicken enchiladas.
I find that interesting.
With green chili.
It aids my points I've been making. That's all.
What
else does she make wonderfully?
What else does she make?
Salsa, maybe?
She does make a very good salsa.
Salsa, maybe?
But to counter your stereotype, it's pico de gallo.
Okay.
So I don't count that shit as real salsa.
That's still that's salsa.
Nah, man,
That's
I'll
more
make
salsa
you some
than
salsa.
salsa.
Do you like spicy stuff? Don't get me wrong. Her salsa is really, really good, but she doesn't like spicy.
I can't keep messing with the transmission.
I will kill your gut, but it'll be amazing tasting. I've made salsa with scorpion chilies.
Oh hell!
I've made
no.
Ghost pepper salsa. And then even I did Carolina Reaper salsa one time too. That's the hottest chili in the world so far, I believe.
Dude, have you watched?
It's like 2 million on the Scoville rating.
Have you seen those videos of them eating it, dude?
Yeah, that's stupid.
Isn't it the best thing ever, though, G? Oh my gosh!
It's funny.
Here's the best thing I've watched on YouTube lately. Have you seen like video game breakdown compilations?
Say again?
Video game, I don't even know what they call them. It's like people that get super duper mad at video games. They make compilations of people that happen to be video games.
Oh, when they rage quit?
Oh, yes, dude. Do you know how... I am dying on the couch, and my son's like, you're just watching these?
Yeah, they're old.
Dude. It makes me feel so happy, and I don't know why, but it cracks me up when they just like throw, and then as soon as the controller leaves their hand, they immediately regret it as it flies toward the television. As soon as they throw it, you see them being like, what did I just do? And it cracks their TV. But I'm like, it's too late, G. It's too late.
Yeah, I don't understand that kind of throwing fits at all, dude.
G, I don't understand it either, but I do love watching it. I adore watching it. It's just so funny to me because I've been mad enough to do stuff, but it normally is I'm like when I used to work on my car and it wasn't working, I would be mad enough to just take a crowbar and be like, I'm just going to destroy this car. I'm done because it's not working the way you said it's supposed to be working. That whole thing, but it's not. I've never gotten mad at a video game that much. And we used to play video games that didn't have a save button. We should have been the most mad. We played Mario Brothers where if you turned it off, it's over.
Yeah, man. There's a good thing called autosave. I love it. I love autosave.
It's incredible, isn't it? We didn't have that. Except for Zelda. Zelda had a save.
You know what I have been really kind of having that rage with lately? Is my fucking audio sound, man. Like, I have been having... Maybe you don't pay attention to this thing, but that's my crazy brain. My sound changed. It was like when I took apart all of my equipment and I took it to WonderCon, which was tits to do because I didn't actually record anything that was worth bringing back, you know?
Yeah.
I just want to go back for a second, Steve, and just acknowledge that I I just said, that's tits to do.
I
never say
peeped that, and I was literally, and I think that means it's great, right?
I think it is. I mean, titties are great, but I've never used that before.
Yeah, what made
That's
you use
just
that
weird.
term?
I don't know. That was really weird. It just came out, and I don't know.
Is it a
like I used to know
English?
this guy. I used to know this guy back in like the 90s. He was in a band with me, and everything was like, "Oh, that's tits up." That was what he said. Tits up.
Wow.
I said, "Nah, that's ass down, bro. That's ass down."
That's actually
think so.
better. That sounds
Hey.
better. What made you? But wait, have you heard that term
I have
lately
no
or
idea why
something?
that just came out of my mouth.
So strange. Because when you said it, I was like, I've never heard him say that before. But
Yeah,
okay.
I don't know. But
I'm
before we
learning
start
things
going
about Dan
down
all the time. This is the only time I learn about you, though. Like every time, other time I talk to you, I don't really. I'm learning about Dan right now, ladies and gentlemen, just like you are. I'm using this time to get into the weeds of Dan's noggin to find out what makes him. What's the term? Tick is what I'm.
What you guys don't understand is that no, he is always learning about me. Like do you realize that? Like when we talk, and I don't mind it at all, but it's pretty much like an interview every time we talk.
I didn't know. Go for please. I didn't know that.
See, you're trying right now. You're trying to break it down and see, get me to.
No,
like,
I
talk
literally
more.
don't know. I didn't know that. What do you mean?
I'll say something. You'll be like, tell me about that. And then I'll have to talk for like 15 minutes. It's the truth. You put your hands together like in that power position, like fingers in a steeple, and you be like, tell me about that. And then I
Please
have
tell
to talk.
me more. You know
Yeah.
what, dude? I think do you believe in power positions? Do you think those are real?
All I know is that I do it inadvertently all the time.
Really?
One of our coworkers, the quizstress actually, is the one that always points that out. That I tend to go into power position a lot of the time, and I think that didn't start until I took my last job. I don't know where it came from, but it's I don't know. I don't know if it works, but I do it all the time inadvertently. I don't even know I'm doing it.
Well, I heard like I heard the fingers or the arms across, like there are certain power positions and there are certain intimidating positions. You want power positions and not intimidating. They said off arms folded is an intimidating, I'm upset position that you shouldn't take. But there's another position, like, I don't know if they said, because there's a whole list of them that I remember I watched one day. And I was like, you know what's funny? A lot of people that I know have these positions. And I have to imagine it's just inadvertent and this is what they do. But I never took it as a power position, but I see how other people do. I see how other people interact with these people. And I'm like, oh, yeah, they're definitely in charge of this circle they're in. The immediate circle, for sure.
Start using it and see how it works for you.
See, what you don't understand is I am a power position. What? Come on, G.
I was going to say something, but I'm not going to.
I know you were going somewhere with that. I know you were
Power
going to go
something.
somewhere.
You're a power
No.
something.
Power what? What do you mean?
Nothing. Nothing.
Oh, wait. I forgot to even say the most amazing thing that happened this week. Dan got
Hold
a
on.
new toy.
Yeah, hold up.
Oh, please,
We're
yeah,
all
yeah.
over the place. So I'm gonna catch us up in 2 seconds here, okay? Give me 30 seconds. So
30 seconds.
I'm gonna go all the way back because we are so goddamn tangential like this when we're
I
freeform.
love this.
And I'm gonna answer the first question you asked me, which was, did I have any favorite songs from these boy bands? That's how far back. That's how much we've veered off.
That's right.
Yeah.
You
That's
got
what
a
I'm trying to.
mistake somehow.
I'm just trying to bring it back. Yeah. So
Yes.
I will say first of all, and then we'll move on.
No.
I would have to
I
say
do-
that
I wanna hear this.
out of NSYNC, I'm just gonna say it. Like if it was on, I'd bump that shit until like I got to a stoplight, and it was a song called "Girlfriend."
Oh, yeah.
You know
Yep.
that song?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I bumped the shit out of that one. And then the other song that I didn't really bump, but I wouldn't turn it off, was the Backstreet Boys, I Want It That Way. It was those lovey-dovey songs, bro.
G.
What? Well, now you're gonna get more. Now you're gonna be high and mighty.
I want it that way of all the songs, Doc?
Yeah, like, are you saying there was? Yeah, because I'm not into that. Everybody, all that shit. Nah,
That would even G.
sorry.
Gee.
That's me. Hey, you do you. I'll do me.
Okay, dog. Here's what I'm saying. You don't seem like a I want it that way guy.
I think you're absolutely right. I don't seem that way. It's because I'm not. I'm just saying, every once in a while, and there's anyone out there, I don't care who you are, there is a song, what do they call those? Hidden pleasure songs? Or what is it? No, hidden pleasure sounds like something you keep in your drawer.
Guilty pleasures.
Guilty pleasure, thank you.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a guilty pleasure song, man.
Really?
Yeah.
Is it a
so
pleasure,
what?
or are you just saying, if it's on, I will keep it on?
I'll be humming it and shit in the car. It's true. I'm just telling you. Everything we've ever talked about, this is what like turns you off?
No, this is the most shocking, I think.
Well, stay tuned, my friend. I'm sure I'll shock you with something more, but...
No, you will not. Not with this one. I think if you told me, watch this, Steve, and I was like, what? And you turned around and there was an alien driving your head, I'd still be like, nah, I want it that way, still wins.
Listen, I'm not saying that I think it's the best song of all time or anything. You asked a question.
I did.
And I answered it honestly.
Oh, hell no. Hold on. We're going to go through we're going to go through some songs from back.
So much for getting this done in 30 seconds, but please
Hell no. Gee, I can't. Here's what I think is happening right now.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? I know what's happening right now.
What's happening?
Nope, I know. You, that's the song you thought of. Because it's the only one you probably are familiar with, sort of.
You're kind of right on point, to be honest with you.
Because, okay.
It's not like I reached under my seat and grabbed a Backstreet Boys CD and like when no one was looking and put it in. It's not like that. I'm just saying, like, I didn't have a lot of familiarity with them, and they'd play that song on the radio, and I'd be like, yeah, that's
okay.
Cool.
What about Quit Playing Games with My Heart? Is that not your thing?
Oh, he knows more songs.
No, I'm looking at him right now because we're gonna dissect the situation. Oh, As Long As You Love Me is a better song than I Want It That Way.
I don't even know what that is. I don't even know what As Long As You Love Me is.
Okay,
I do know the other one though. I do know that. Quit Playing Games with My Heart.
So what about that? Will you still say, nah?
I would say if pressed, which I feel
Yes.
I am right now,
Yes.
I'm gonna go ahead and go with my choice still.
Really?
Yeah.
Well,
No shame in my game.
No, you shouldn't have shame because now I'm thinking you really are. You're really saying, look, that's the song, and it's which one is it? What is it called? I Want It That Way.
Yeah.
You know what? Let me think about this song.
You got it up? Can you like pull it up?
No, I'm thinking about it now. You know what? Look, dude, that's not a terrible, awful song, but from you, here's why I think it's messing me up.
Okay,
Because-
first of all, it's not like you went, welcome to Heroes of Noise. Like, hold up, dude. Let me tell you about a song I'm really into right now. No, you asked a question.
I get it, but here's the thing. This is coming, and I have to understand it's coming from a person, for me, that I'm like, okay, this guy is really picky because he doesn't like Inner Sandman. And I'm like, well, if he doesn't like Inner Sandman, there's no way. There's certain songs that I just don't see you digging. And this would be one of those.
I think you're making it out to be more than it really is.
No.
I'm just answering the question.
I know, but I'm saying if I was like, okay, you have to pick a Backstreet Boys. From the man that doesn't like Inner Sandman, I'm guessing Backstreet's Back, everybody. That's what I'm guessing. I never
said I didn't like Enter Sandman. I said it wasn't my favorite song off of an album that wasn't my favorite. That's what I said. It's a good song. It's just, again, I don't listen to a lot of Metallica. We always talk about Metallica, but I don't listen to that much Metallica, dude. I really don't. But I will go see them with you, like I said. If you want to go, I'll go.
Are you a Metallica? But you're a Metallica fan.
Sure.
Oh, wow. Wait a minute. Here I am thinking you were a
Welcome
Metallica
to every show
fan.
we've ever done, everybody. We're back to Metallica again.
You did, but you know Metallica. When we talk about it, you never said, I'm not a Metallica fan. You're like, I've seen them a few times.
I've seen them a bunch of times. I'm just
exactly. So that would make me think you're a fan of Metallica.
I mean, a lot of the times was free, but yeah, I'm sure I am. But it's not like I am. But of like we've already established like 400 times, I like the first 3 albums.
That's still
first 4.
Fine.
I'll give him the first 4.
That's but if I was like, I'm not a fan of Michael Jackson, I just liked Off the Wall, Beat It, or Off the Wall, Thriller, and History. They'd be like, you're a fan of Michael Jackson. I'm like, but I only like 3 albums. I'm like, you're a fan. Because those are big albums. Yeah, you're a fan. Okay, fair. Now, being that you're a huge, massive, humongous fan of Metallica that we have established, what song would you choose, Enter Sandman?
This fucking guy.
If both of them are on and you're switching between channels, are you going I Want It That Way or Enter Sandman?
I have to pick one?
You have to, because you're switching between. You're at a stoplight, you're switching between.
Because you've picked that particular song, I will be honest and say it really just depends on my mood. How about that?
That's a strong answer.
Maybe I want to feel like a 16-year-old girl. Maybe I do. I don't know.
Well, that's fair, dude. I like that. You know what? I respect your choice.
Yeah, man. I don't like, I'm not steadfast on things. Do you know what I'm saying?
I like that.
Yeah, like it just depends. Maybe I'm in the mood to hear something poppy or something like that. You picked a song where, like, I'll pick a lot of songs over it.
Oh, no question. That's why.
But it doesn't mean that I don't like the song. You know what I mean?
Totally. That's why I went for a song that you don't especially like.
You can't deny it's a good song. I mean, it's one of their most popular songs. So they play it. There's not a night that goes by they don't play that song.
Yeah, you can't, even if they hated it. If they hated there's some artists that hate songs so they never play them. They're not that band.
I would always hate to be that. I would hate to be that guy or that band.
So would I.
Just goes through the motions. Because, you know what? I know that the fans want to hear it, but if your heart's not in it, it doesn't seem like it would be even worth playing.
Which is why I'm wondering, is it better to be, like, I think that comes down to writing your own stuff. Like, if you wrote your own songs, you're going to like them generally. Maybe you won't because of where you were when you wrote. It will just remind you of something. But like someone like James Taylor, he wrote all of his songs and they mean something to him. So he's going to do all the hits because he wrote them. If someone else wrote a song for you and everyone wants to hear this song that someone else wrote, you have no connection to it, really. If you're Britney Spears, you can give or take, oops, I did it again. You just know it's popular, let's do it. I had nothing to do with it, but sure, you're kind of doing karaoke, whereas, you know, I'm sure Metallica and whoever, you know, Metallica has I don't know why they wrote it, but they wrote Enter Sandman for something and it means something to them. They didn't just, you know, and so I think but I know there are some bands that are just like, we hate this song and we're never going to do this song, or we'll do the remix of it. And I'm like, why do you guys do that? People come to hear that song. So do it. Like not saying that he hates the song, but when you went to Billy Joel and he didn't do Just the Way You Are, that's weird to me. That is such a glaring, if I pick random people off the street and they said, we don't know who Billy Joel is, and I played them that song, some of them will be like, oh yeah, I know that song. And for him to be like, I'm not going to play it, either he forgot or he just said, I'm not in the mood for Just the Way You Are tonight, which is so weird.
He plays so much. Billy Joel's one of those guys that can just do whatever he wants anyway, and people are just going to eat it up, which is exactly what they did. I mean, he hadn't been to California, if I'm not mistaken. No, I take that back. He hadn't been to, maybe it was true. Maybe it was, I can't remember if it was California or the Bay Area. But either way, it had been like 20 years since he'd been there. Yeah, so you would think that he would play that song, you know, but I'd still find it odd that he went with Uptown Girl over that one. But wow, he's Billy Joel, man, and it's not like people don't love Uptown Girl. Like, trust me, they loved it because they were going crazy for that shit.
Oh, there's no question, dude. And he's one of those I'd still want to see. I'd want to see him and Elton, but I think for me, the perfect concert, like Paul McCartney, was perfect because he knew what everyone wanted to hear. He came back out and did the whole B-side of Abbey Road from beginning to end.
But you know that there was someone in the audience who's like, he didn't play this song. You know, it's just always going to be that. We can't make everybody happy.
I think that's what I'm saying. I don't know what song he could have played after those 3 hours that I'm just like, I don't know. He even did, when he did Lovely Rita, I was like, wait a minute. The heck are we, like, we're in the Twilight Zone right now. He's doing everything, you know, and also another person that does that is like James Taylor. He's not going to not do Caroline on My Mind or Sweet Baby Jane. He's just not. He's going to do, even if he has a new album, he'll do a bunch of album songs. Then it's pull up a chair. Let me take you through where we came from.
Oh, dude, isn't that the worst though when they do that? Like you go, maybe you're going to disagree with me, but you go to see James. Let's just use James Taylor as the example. Yes. You go to see James Taylor, right? Mm-hmm. And he's promoting like a new album. Uh-huh. Doesn't that drive you crazy when you see bands that are like, I'll even say for like Iron Maiden, for instance. I like their new stuff, but I go there to hear the hits. Truly, I do. You know, I mean, I really go to hear the hits because there's just something about those songs that make me. That's very. You get that rock concert feel, you know. But I hate when they go too long. With just new stuff. I really did like their last album a lot. It's called The Book of Souls, and it was actually really well done. But when I saw them in Vegas, I was just wanting to like sing every word. And my boy Mike went with me, and he only knows like very limited songs from Iron Maiden, so he was like not having a good time because they played pretty much their whole album almost. So you know what I mean? But don't you hate that when that happens and you don't like? I went to see Lionel Richie. I took my mom and Gail to see Lionel Richie.
Oh, nice.
And my mom was so excited, and the lights go out, and I was excited too because I grew up listening to that, you know. And
of course,
I looked at my mom, and she just had like fire in her eyes. She was so happy that Lionel was about to come on stage, and he came out and he played like 2 new ones, and I just remember at the second song, like it was me and then Gail and then my mom, right, like to the right. And I just remember we both kind of looked past Gail and looked at each other, and we just started rolling because my mom had the look on her face like, "What is this shit?" You know, she was so pissed. But then he ended up playing all the hits, and it was like, I can't remember, but I believe it was called like All the Hits. I think that's what the name of the tour was.
Well, here's what I think people should do. If you have a new album, just do all the new songs you want to do in a row. Don't intersperse them throughout the hits. I don't want that because I get really juiced and I'm in a mood. And then here's another song from our new album. Be like, gee, you can't go from Carolina on My Mind to some random 2017 jam. You have to do a string of back to back to back to back to back to back. So just do all your new stuff. Just do it in the beginning. Knock it out. And then last, do all of the hits.
I make those songs work for me though, because that's when you go get a beer. That's when you go to the bathroom. That's when you go buy your shirt. You know what I mean? Your merch. I've made that work for me. So I kind of dig that they do that now because there's just always one song. There's always one song. They're like, I could skip out on this one. You know, no matter who it is.
Now, there's even, you know, I don't think there's many people like. I don't know if they're like if I went to if Michael Jackson was still, you know, with us. If I went to a concert, I don't know when I would leave. I don't know what song he could be doing that I would leave to go get a shirt. Because something could happen. Like, what movie is he going to do? What am I going to miss where I hear someone screaming like, ah, when he does it, and I'm running back into theater, and I missed something. Theater, more stadium. I'm run back in, I'm like, what happened? What? But I missed it because he's so, just like Prince. He might do, he might do like, Shush. And I'm like, I don't like this movie. I don't like this song that much. And I leave, and all of a sudden people scream, and I run back in there, and I'm like, what happened? Oh, he just did this thing, and I missed something. So I think there's always that risk. Exactly. Whereas Billy Joel, if I leave, he does something, and people scream, I'm not tripping. Because I know he couldn't have done anything that crazy. I'm like, I know he just did, like, maybe he pointed to someone in the front row. But other people, I'm like, I wonder what they did. Like, what crazy move did those? Like Freddie Mercury. What would he have done to make the whole crowd go crazy? I don't know. I wish I was there. You know what I'm saying? So there's certain people I would leave. I mean, even like, I don't know. I don't know Metallica's songs, but I wouldn't leave if I went to go see Metallica, I wouldn't leave. I'm not leaving the seat, even if they're doing new stuff, because I'm not that versed in Metallica enough to be like, oh, I'll just leave during this. I'm like, no, they might do crazy stuff during any song, so I want to see the whole thing.
When they came to Fresno, the last time they came to Fresno was for their last album called Death Magnetic.
Yeah,
and
that's a good name.
I was a smoker at the time, and like I spent half the show smoking. I didn't even go.
Really?
Yeah, because see, that's the thing is that, you know, God, here we go again. But they just have a tendency they play their songs, but like Lars Ulrich is a terrible drummer. Now,
whoa,
he's always no, that dude. That's not like
that's not risque. Oh, I didn't know that.
No, that's widely known. So they have to kind of alter their songs sometimes, or sometimes just depending on the night, like you can hear him struggling to keep up, kind of thing. And it just happened to be that night that's how it was. but I just kept smoking. I just kept going outside and smoking because it was like more fun. Because when I go to those kind of shows, it's like high school again. Like I'm literally seeing all the people that I went to high school with at these things. And so I was like socializing. I've seen Metallica so many times that it doesn't even matter to me anymore. But they were playing a lot of stuff that they didn't necessarily remix it, but they just did it a little bit differently. And I've seen them enough times where honestly I could walk out of the show 2 songs in. You ready to go do something? Let's go.
Wow, really?
Yeah. There's just certain bands like that. Like I used to be really big into Slayer at the time. Or at the time, I said I could have stopped. I don't know why I said at the time, but I used to be really big into Slayer. And it just got to a point with them where I'd seen them so many times. I was going through this period with a buddy of mine that he had radio. He still has radio connections. But I used to go to all these metal shows, and I saw them so many times. I could tell you because they never changed their set, really. I mean, they would change their set up, like musically, but they just got to that point where he was like literally saying Tom Araya, the singer, was literally saying the same thing over and over again. Like I'd see him 3 nights in a row, and he would say the same intro or whatever to start a song. Like I would walk out. I would just go hang out on the the fairway or something and go get drunk or go socialize or like I would. They're actually on their farewell tour, and I do believe that this will be a farewell tour for them. Mm-hmm. And I have no desire to go, because I'm really not into Slayer anymore. I just don't have that mindset anymore. But I just know that if I go there, it's going to be the same exact thing.
What do you mean by mindset?
I don't know. Like I just don't. It's just weird. Like I don't really listen to. Like I just think they hit a point where it's like, okay, you're not angry anymore, dude. You're like someone's grandpa, and I get it. You've got a reputation to uphold. But I don't really feel you're angry anymore. I feel like it's just... I'm not buying it, I guess I could say. Wow. I guess that's really... Yeah, I'm just not buying it. I'm not saying they're faking it. It's just... Well, no. I just think that they're catering to their crowd they could literally just fart into the microphone and someone's going to buy it. I just haven't been into them for years. I think they really lost their edge because they're sort of like a version... They're kind of like Guns N' Roses before they got back together. Like there used to be Tom Araya, the singer and bass player. And then there was Jeff Hanneman, the guitar player. He was a dual lead guitar player. He passed away. Oh. And then there's this guy named Kerry King who's still with them. And then their drummer was a guy named Dave Lombardo. So throughout the years, Dave Lombardo has gone back and forth, left the band, come back. He's now officially out. Like I think they don't get along at all. And then, like I said, Jeff Hanneman, the guitar player, died. So they brought in some guy named Gary Holt I know I'm like, blah, 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 blah to you right now, but they brought in this guy named Gary Holt that's from a band called Exodus. All these bands were from the Bay Area. They used to be like this it was called like Bay Area thrash. It was in the 80s. It was them. Okay. It was Metallica. It was this band called Testament. Anyway, they all kind of chilled together. You know what I mean? This band called Forbidden. They all did that thing. So they kind of like incestually used each other for bands. If you know what I'm trying to say. Not
so it was like the Seattle for rock bands.
Yeah, that's a way of looking at it.
Okay,
yeah.
Okay.
But it was a scene. It was like a full-on scene.
Yes.
And it's fine. Gary Holt's a great guitar player. I hear he's a prick. I've heard that from many people. Not that it matters, but I've heard that. I don't even know where I'm going with this. I'm just so goddamn bored of Slayer, Steve, is really what I'm getting at.
Well, I think they hit the Eminem syndrome, where it's just like, I don't believe you're mad at you're not broke anymore. You can't do Rock Bottom. You can't sing that song anymore. You know what I'm saying? Those are, you can't do songs about Britney Spears. And so you can't reference those sort of things anymore. He has to find a new thing. Now, people are still going to see him because of his prowess. He just is so lyrically amazing at whatever he does that people are going to see him because of how good he is at what he does. But it used to be his content, even though it was offensive to many, it was like, wow, this is crazy. Even on Jay-Z Renegade, you can't say you're not a renegade anymore. Like, you're super famous. It's not like you're crazy, because his thing was like, never been afraid to say what's on my mind at any given time of day because I'm a renegade. Be like, okay, but that's what you do now. You can't do that song anymore because, yeah, you push the envelope, but you're not doing that anymore. The envelope is already pushed now. It's done. There's nothing shocking about Eminem. So he has to find a new thing to do. So now all he's doing is, I will just out-rap you. I won't be saying anything necessarily groundbreaking, but I'm just going to out-rap you. And that's what a song like Rap God is. It's just him out rapping someone, but he can't be like, I was on drugs when I was little, because people just don't care anymore. They're like, yeah, but you're a multimillionaire now. We don't buy it anymore. You know what I'm saying? We only go there for, if we want to hear those sort of songs, we only go there because it's like, oh, we remember, 10, 20 years ago when you did this.
Exactly.
Oh, it was great. Yeah, it was
That's
awesome.
it. It's like a live jukebox.
That's
you know
it.
what I'm saying?
Yes.
You want to go and
exactly.
hear the hits.
That's it. And now a lot of people sink into that. If you don't reinvent yourself, a lot of people fall into that. I don't know. That's one thing about someone like the Foo Fighters or, Metallica. At least they keep, doing new stuff. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you got to give it to them for that. You know what I mean? Like, and mind you, they even say the shelf life for hip hop is way shorter than rock and country. You're going to be popular in rap for maybe a year. Your shelf life is maybe 2 years. People that are popular for more than that is amazing.
I have to agree with you.
With your Chuck D, Public Enemy, LL Cool J, Rock, that's a weird. Nas, Jay, that is strange. That's not normal because your shelf life is that quick. For you to have staying power is the fact that like Nas could go on tour right now just doing Illmatic and he's going to pack theaters because people just want to hear that so bad. And he could still do 15 years of hits and you're like, oh, that's right, he did that. Oh my goodness. That's not a normal thing in hip hop. Whereas in rock, you can.
Am I making it up? Regarding Illmatic, am I making this up? Because I know that Nas and Snoop are coming to Fresno with a bunch of other people pretty soon.
Yes.
Did I just make it up in my head that he's going to be doing the whole Illmatic
here in
album?
Fresno?
Yeah. Did I just make that up?
Yeah, I think you made that. I don't think he's doing the whole Illmatic here.
Did he do that recently?
He did. He did it with the symphony orchestra.
Okay. I knew there was something like that.
He did it, and then before he did it, but before that, Jay did Reasonable Doubt with an orchestra, which was crazy. I mean, for him to do Reasonable, and you see him, there's behind the scenes stuff that shows him looking at lyrics, because I'm like, oh, that's right. How long ago was that? He has to re-look at lyrics like, okay, what did that say again? He has to relearn all of his songs. Because he's like, Reasonable Doubt was 96. So he's just sitting there with lyric papers being like, okay, how does this song go again? And I'm sitting there, that's a long time ago, dude. And that's 12 songs of him relearning his songs again.
I love Coheed and Cambria.
Yes.
Every so often, they haven't done this in years. But what they'll do is, like on the 10th anniversary of their album, they'll do something called a Never Ender tour. The Never Ender is based off of a song on another album. But at one point in time, like when I first got into them, they did a Never Ender tour, and it was 4 nights in a row. And each night they played the entirety of one of their albums.
Wow.
Yeah, I've got like a box set of it. It's fucking amazing. I'll have to let you check it out sometime. Just to see how they are live.
Crazy, dude.
So you got to think that they rehearse like crazy. I know that.
Oh, dude. Yes.
But
for sure.
That's, you're going back and having to learn these things that you knew in your early 20s. They're now in their mid 30s. It's a long time. But they tour like crazy and they play a lot of these songs. But, they were busting out those deep cuts because they played the full album.
Yeah, I'm shocked more people just don't do that. Like, I know without a doubt Foo Fighters could get away with playing one of their albums. Just go on tour playing whichever album that there's like, we're going to tour, that's a great question. What album do you think, if they said Foo Fighters on tour, one album, what album do you think they're going to pick to tour with? Full, complete album. Which album do you think this is going to be a sellout tour? All of them probably would be, but what is going to be the one you're like, oh no, this is going to be a sellout? People are going to be like, oh God, can't wait to hear this all the way through.
I would guess it would be their second one, Color and the Shape. That's where a lot of the like Monkey Wrench and Everlong came off of that. But the one that I would really want to see would be Wasting Light. That's the one that has the one that has like bridges on it, Bridges Burning, and that I love that album from start to finish. There are a lot of songs that I could just kind of like flip through on the other albums. Like each album always has like something amazing on it, and it's not to say that the songs aren't good, but I'm like, okay, next, and I'll go to the stuff that I want to listen to. But Wasting Light for me is like my favorite album of theirs.
That is so. You know, it's funny because I'm thinking about, now mind you, I'm brand new to them, but do they have a Illmatic, a Reasonable Doubt, a Doggy Style whatever Metallica has? Do they have that one seminal album, or is it just their body of work?
Speaking of like, they actually played Doggy Style in its rock version, the full entire album on one shot one time when they were in Europe.
Who?
The Foo Fighters.
Snoop Dogg's Doggy
I'm fucking
Style?
with you, bro.
I was about to say, what? You do know that I was going to immediately
just go to YouTube, right?
Oh, dude, there's no question. And the thing is, you know what's weird? It wasn't that shocking. I was like, I could see Dave Grohl doing something crazy like that. And I wouldn't be surprised if he knew the lyrics. You know what I'm saying?
The one thing about them is that they are an amazing like cover band. Like they play solid covers. Every time I've seen them, they play solid covers. They even do, what was it? One of my favorite freaking 70s songs, man, was by a guy named Jerry Rafferty. And sorry to get old school.
Yeah, no. I have his album.
Okay.
So they did Baker Street.
Baker Street.
Yeah.
That's fucking awesome.
See, for me, his song, like my jam from him is dude, why am I forgetting? Is it Sally?
Stuck in the Middle?
No, it's Molly's Rag. Is it Sally's Rag? I think it's.
To be honest, I'm not a huge Jerry Rafferty fan. That's really the one song I love. Steelers Will. He's from Steelers Will too. They get Stuck in the Middle.
Yes. That's a good one. Stuck in the Middle is the one that I always hear often. Like Stuck in the Middle, I hear often, or Right Down the Line, I hear a lot. Baker Street, I hear a lot. Maddie's Rag, I don't hear because I don't think he released it. Also, Killing Time is a great song. There's like a million songs from him that are just so good. Well, not a million, a few that are really good.
You have officially surpassed me as far as Jerry Rafferty knowledge.
Oh, really?
You really surprise me sometimes, yeah. Because you go from talking about Illmatic and then you can bust out. What was it called? I didn't even know the name of the song.
Maddie's Rag. It's a great song though, and there's also, I think there's a song called Something Island, and it's just talking about, dude, let's just stop and just leave and just go live on this island, and it's a beautiful song he does, and and then whatever's written in your heart. If you listen to that, whatever's written in your heart, it's a heart, bruh. You know what he's going through writing this album.
See, we've done it again. I was actually trying to remember the second question you asked me, and do you remember? I'll answer it. I was just trying to answer.
Oh, no. Is there you said that because I said, do they have a seminal album?
Oh, no, I meant from Jump. Like I answered the Backstreet Boys question. I can't remember what else you asked me, but we'll just skip
for that.
We'll
for that one, do you think that they have that classic one album, or are they just touring on their body of work?
Which one? I'm confused now. Who are we talking about?
Foo Fighters. Because I don't know if they have a Doggy Style. You know how everyone has that album that's just like, whoa! Not everyone, but they have a classic album where it's just like certified classic. Do they have
Like I said, I think it would be Color in the Shape. I think that's the one that I would want to see live. But that said, they have such a strong library of music. I prefer the greatest, not the greatest hits, but like if I could just make I have a playlist that I would love to hear all the way through. You know what I mean?
Oh,
because they have enough hits over a 20-year span, 22-year maybe.
Yeah.
They can play 3 hours, dude, and not really get into like deep cuts. That's how fucking good they are, you know?
Well, and I've only seen them online. I've only seen them on YouTube. But so far, every concert that I've seen, I think the Bridges Burning opening is the best opening I've seen them do. I'm like, that is an opening of a concert right there. That I'm like, dude, that is how you all the other, don't get me wrong. All the rest are great. But I'm like, that is an opening song, dude.
Something About All My Life.
That's a good one too.
All My Life's a great opener.
But the only reason I like Bridges Burning better is because the scream, famous last word scream, is like an opening. That's perfect, dude. And I'm just like, well, dude, I mean, but again, when you have a new album, you have to open with another song. You can't just go opening with Bridges Burning for the rest of your life, which sucks. True. Because it's a great opener, dude. And I think once they say, okay, we're done making new albums, they could just use that. Because now you're just opening with whatever you feel like. I mean, Green Day could open with whatever they feel like. Because I don't know if they're just pushing out albums anymore. They can open with whatever song they feel like opening with.
I would absolutely, speaking of them, I would absolutely love to see them do American Idiot live, like the whole thing. You never really got into them much, right? Like,
no, you know what happened? I was kind of thinking about getting into them. I think when they did the Broadway American Idiot, I was like, oh, come on, G. And it wasn't saying
great album.
I know I've heard the song. I've heard the song American Idiot, but I was like, when things get so popular that you kind of shy away from them, that's what happened.
Yeah, I'm guilty of that too.
Yeah, I'm just like, I don't know but the weird thing is Foo Fighters are super popular, but I didn't know how popular they were. So it made me way more open to listen to them from you. Because I don't hear people talking about them except for you.
And I don't even talk about them that much.
No, you just said they're really, really good. And I'm like, I gotta trust. Okay, I gotta check them out because I don't hear anyone else talking about it. Whereas, I mean, Green Day, there's no way they're going to live up to what people talk about them the way people talk about them. They just won't. Like, I'll listen to the album and be like, it's fine. I have a feeling that's going to be my reaction. It's fine. I don't think that they're going to come up to the level of what I heard Dave Grohl do, only because musically I'm listening to something. I'm listening to a musical. Bad Actors is a thing where I'm listening to it musically. I'm like, oh, that time change is crazy. I don't think Green Day's going to have things that have me listen to it. Ooh, what chord is that? I'm like, I know what chord that is. I automatically know.
There is something about, American Idiot is actually like a rock opera album. That's why I think you would get into that. It tells a story from start to finish. It's one story, which is why they ended up making it a musical. But it's so like, I mean, I cannot compare it to Queen by any means, but it's got something though that is powerful like that. Like, it's the last time I saw Green Day was that tour, and it was probably like 15 years ago. It was 15 years ago because I remember I took Ben. He was like 4, and but it's amazing. And I really kind of like, they set the bar so high for me on that one. Like, I'm not even calling them a punk band, and I really truly don't ever think they were like a real punk band. But they kind of shed all that for this album. It's just so fucking good, man. It's you got to get into it. And I know you have it because you got that iPod, so you should.
I do, exactly. I do, and I'm
take it to the gym with you.
But you set the bar high. You set the bar very high with Foo Fighters. For my new inclusions, you set the bar very high because, again, and I might just be overthinking what he's saying. I think I overthink what Dave Grohl's saying, but I really believe that this is what he's meaning in his words. And I'm just like, oh no, dude, this band is working at a tick that most bands are not working at. And I don't think Green Day is working at a click that Dave Grohl's working at. He's just working at a tick that's just like, damn. I
got a question for you.
Yeah.
Since we're talking about like live music and stuff like that, now maybe you can just like actually I could. So what? Okay, I'm gonna ask you. Sorry, that was just a bunch of babble. Let me just ask you this question. What is, bar none, the best live performance that you've ever seen?
Prince 2000 Forever Tour. No question.
Okay.
When he came out of the middle with that, they showed the video saying no one could do this, he's like, there's been King blah blah, King Solomon, but there's only one, Prince. And when it was like, and he came to, G, come on, G. I mean, he comes out of the floor, and then that one break when it's like, and it stops. But it's not the end of the song. He just looks around the stadium. I'm like, this brother right here is no joke. He's not joking. And he's just like, come on, 2, 3, I mean, G. Who was messing with Prince on that tour? Who was messing with Prince on that tour?
There wasn't a soul messing with Prince.
Not G. And when he said, dig if you will the picture, dun, dun, you and I engaged in a kiss. I was like, oh wait, I almost left the stadium. I almost left the stadium right there. I said, this dude.
Where were you going?
Leaving. I almost left because I'm like,
I can't run around or what?
I can't handle how good he is and his band, dude. That band with Renato Neto. Dang, I know the drummer too. Renato Neto, Rhonda Smith, and Blackwell. Those 3 people carried that freaking jam session. Renato Neto on the keys, dude. The fact that he played everything with those 3 keyboards. And when they did Raspberry Beret, he played the strings on the keys. I was like, well, I am not going to be that good. He is so good that I'm not going to be. And then he played that string thing for When Doves Cry. I was like, oh my God, am I watching this? Am I watching this right now? There's nothing better. And mind you, my first concert ever was Earth, Wind & Fire. And that was, to a certain point, my favorite concert of all time. Until I saw a man that I didn't know. I knew he was good. I knew for no question he was good because I heard his albums. I didn't know the true genius of what I was about to walk into until when I left and I was just all the way home from Staples Center. I was like, I can't believe what I didn't know music was that possible. I didn't know it was. I mean, I thought only Michael could do that with his band. I thought only Michael can do that. But Prince came in here and his band, there wasn't one break they missed. On the one, bump.
You saw Prince at the Staples Center?
I saw Prince at Staples Center.
Nice.
I mean, it was just so perfect. So yes, that's my favorite concert of all time.
See, now I'm wondering if I asked you incorrectly because, I mean, I totally see everything you're saying about that. And I would have to agree. Every time I've seen Prince, I've just walked out like, what the hell did how?
That's what I'm saying.
How
did this happen?
Yeah, I mean, I totally.
And you've seen him way more times than I. That was the only. Though I've seen him 3 times, 2 times 2000 Forever, and 1 time that last time that I think you were there too.
Yeah, you know, man. See, that kind of changes things for me a little bit. But I think I don't know if for me what I was kind of getting at was like, and maybe it's still the same for you. You know what I'm saying? But I've just been to so many freaking concerts.
You've been to a grip, dude. You've been to a go.
It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. But like one of the most memorable shows for me that I was getting at, I was going to say, well, this is mine. And I still feel that way. It may not have been necessarily, it wasn't. I'll tell you this right now. It wasn't the most, God, but it was. What am I trying to say? Musically, sonically, I've seen better bands get down. Do you know what I'm saying?
Of course, yes.
But as far as the experience, the time period, and who I was seeing, and just that whole, everything encompassed with that, I think that I would have to go with, it's kind of like, you know, it's like a bragging rights kind of thing for people that are like concert geeks, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
This is one of my bragging rights one. And it doesn't even necessarily have to do with the talent, even though the talent was definitely there. It was New Year's Eve, 1991.
Holy crap.
It was at the Cow Palace in San Francisco.
Uh-huh.
And these bands all played together. It was Red Hot Chili Peppers was the headliner. And they were just touring for Blood Sugar Sex Magic, which in my opinion is their best album.
That's interesting. We got to come back to that too. Go on.
Okay, I'll start up. The first band that opened up was this little band that I hadn't really heard that much of yet. I heard one song on the radio, and they were called Pearl Jam.
Holy cow.
And so they played 10. That's their first album. Mm-hmm. And blew me away how good they were. But I'm like, okay, this is great. I knew they were all going to be there, but that's why I went. The second band, again, time period, and understand what this album did. The second band that came out was Nirvana, and they played. Yeah, it was the Nevermind tour, the one that broke them. And you know, Dave Grohl was there. Honestly, they were great. Their music sounded awesome. Kurt Cobain was kind of a bore because he never talked. He just looked down the whole time, and Chris Novoselic did all the talking. He's a bass player. And but amazing. And then the fucking Chili Peppers came out. It was amazing, dude. Like that is, yeah. But there's other ones, you know. But that one kind of, I don't know. It was just like that show's legendary. Like I was actually one night I was just thinking about it, and I looked online on YouTube. You can actually find the entire show, just an audio though. It's like a black screen, and you just hear the whole thing though. And that was pretty cool. I listened to that. It wasn't the best audio, but it was nice to relive that. But it was the people I was with. It was just that time in my life. I'll never forget that. So that's mine. But trust me, there's many more. Like I've told you about Stevie.
You've ton. It's funny because when I went to, there was a point at which the mother of my child was the biggest Prince fan I knew. And it's weird because once I get obsessed with a group, I surpass the people who are fans of them. Like whoever hooked me to the group, I end up being more fans than they were. Nor a lot of times. That was back in my younger days when I had the time to do it. So I went to see Prince with her. And she was crying during Purple Rain because I looked over. I was like, "Isn't this great?" And she's just bawling. Like,
it's so good.
Like, what are you? What's wrong? She's like, "It just means so much that this is happening right now." And I'm like, "Wow." And then the next concert, I'm already super into him by the time I see him again. Then the third concert, I was holding back tears. I'm like, "Oh, this is what happened." But I was such a manly man then that of course I wasn't going to cry. Like now, it would have been over for me at my 40-year mark. It would have been over being so emotional. Like, I'm sure that there's people I'd see now. I would be like anyone I see now, any of the people that I really want to see, I'm going to be emotional for sure. Like if I hear James Taylor sing "You Can Close Your Eyes," it's over because it just means something. Like I remember when I first heard that song or Something in the Way She Moves. I remember hearing that song and where I was at that time and everything. Like if I heard him sing that, if I heard Elton John sing Someone Saved My Life Tonight, it's over. Because it means something to me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Or Goodbye Yellow Brick Road. Because I'm just like, I was going through a thing when I first heard that saying, I just want to get out of here. I'm done with this. And hearing him is just going to be like, oh my gosh. He took me right back to where, I was. So anyone I see now, it's over. Billy Joel, I don't know. I don't think I will be emotional because there's nothing that hooks. Only thing is, oh, it's amazing. What an amazing song. But there's no emotional hook to it. There's just, oh, that was fun.
I was emotional when I saw Billy Joel, but it wasn't like I'm gonna cry emotional. It was like
excited.
I was excited, but I was excited for other reasons too. It's because like I took my family, my whole family was there, and at that point in time, for whatever reason, not that we weren't listening to anything that was new, the whole family just coincidentally even the kids were going through like a Billy Joel phase. It was weird, and they knew that shit. They knew those songs. You know what I mean? So now, I was emotional watching my kids have fun.
Does he do when he does Moving Out? Does it sound the same or is it lower?
Yes.
Now?
No, it sounds good, dude. He sounds amazing still. He still has the voice. Yeah, he still has the voice. I think he might have went down. Did he? Did he go down a key for Vienna? I don't even think he went down a key for Vienna, dude. No, he's still really good. Like he still sounds the same.
I don't think he could sing "Say Goodbye to Hollywood" in the same key. That's a high song. I don't think he
played that one.
I
can't remember if he played that.
What? Well, you know what? Is that a deep cut or not really?
You know,
that's honestly a common song, right?
Yeah, but I'm not like the aficionado with Billy Joel. There's a bunch I don't.
Neither am I, dude. Neither am I. Now I know he did He normally does Scenes from an Italian Restaurant, though.
Yes, he did that one.
Yes, that's a good song.
And he did. And you know, not one of my favorite songs, but you know what? There was an emotional moment on that one. It was, I think it's called "Good Night Saigon."
Oh yeah, that's a good one. That's about the Vietnam War. Yeah, that's good. That's a really good song.
Was really moving, just because of like the slides that were going on the screens and everything. That was really really cool.
Yep.
You know what got me though?
What's that?
When I saw U2, I think I might have even talked about this before. I saw U2. It was a month after 9/11, and they were playing what was it? With or Without You. It was like, I think, were they closing with it? You know, it was like the closer, the pre-encore song, you know?
Yes.
And there was just something about them. They just really put on a good show. Even if you don't like U2, they know how to control a crowd. They know how to just get you. And but I was really into them at the time. But when it was over, dude, they started playing this. They started doing, it was like a slide, like a rolling, scrolling is what I'm thinking of. Like it was a scrolling list of all the people that died in the towers while they're playing that. There was not a dry eye in the fucking house. Of course not, man.
Dude.
It was extremely moving. And you know, and to be honest with you, the country was just we were still raw. we'd never truly experienced anything like that before.
Of course not.
On our homeland, and so everyone was just raw. And I remember coming out of the show, and you know how it's like really common to see celebrities.
Yes.
And I don't know that cat's name, but it was the dude from Smallville that played Lex Luthor.
Yeah.
That dude was all teared up. His eyes were all red talking. I heard him talking about that, how he was like crying at that. It was really weird.
Well, it was a special, dude. I remember because I was 21, 20. And the week before, I was like, good thing there's no war. I'm never going to be drafted. And that morning, my mom called me to wake me up and said, Steve, you're not going to believe this. And I looked and I was like, oh my gosh. And her thing was, obviously her immediate thought was, my son is going to war. And it totally, if no one volunteered, who knows? I totally could have been drafted.
I think that, if you're for the sake of this, I'll say you quote unquote lucked out, because it could have. But I think that at that point in time, and I'm only speaking for my life.
Yes, totally.
I don't think there was ever a point in time where the country was so united
that
they would have gone to kick ass. You know what I mean?
No. And the thing is, it was so united that the bungling of that took a level of stupidity that was incredible, because it was just so united. All you had to do is get the right person at the right place, and we know how that turned out.
I think I would dare to say that was probably in my lifetime the most united I'd ever seen the country. In my lifetime.
No, I think in my lifetime, I think it was the united, as in like the whole world crying. I think it was the election of Barack Obama, because the whole world, when you saw him win, China, Japan, people thought it was a new world. Some people, but unfortunately now anyway.
Well, no, check it out. Seriously, I know you want to.
I don't even want to. Let's go back.
I'm completely taking taking the politics out of this here. I'm not even including the rest of the world.
I know.
I'm just saying that at that point in time, everyone was united with, let's just get those fuckers. Do you know what I'm saying?
Totally.
And it was like nothing that I'd ever seen before. It had nothing to do with the rest of the world. It had nothing to do. And and quite honestly, I see your point about Barack Obama, but at the same time, I recall a bunch of other people that were pissed off. Just, it's like the reversal right now, but it's completely different. But that's why I would say that, just for me personally, that would be my moment in time in my lifetime where everyone was united.
I think the hard thing is, obviously you see stories of, people were united, but unfortunately they're being united. Some people got the shaft in New York City because they looked like the people that they thought they were.
This is true.
You know what I'm saying?
This is true.
That's the only reason I'm saying, you know what? I can't say we were all united, because someone's listening to this and be like, what are you guys talking about?
I don't remember that, you son of a bitch.
I do not remember. I remember them coming in, taking me out, beating me up because they thought I was somehow related. So I just that's what I saw. I was like, oh, this is getting immediately bad.
It wasn't on the level. It wasn't on the level of, like, say, World War II, where they were doing like what were they called, detainment camps or something like that. It wasn't like that.
No.
But it was pretty fucking close. I'll have to give you that.
But like with U2 doing that, I know that was a beautiful moment. And the fact that I didn't even know you went to see U2, because I can honestly say I know 2 U2 songs. That's it. Wait a minute. What was the one where they were tossing the cards on the video?
They were doing what?
They were like tossing the cards. It was like, don't sleep, don't this, don't that, don't this, don't. It's some song. And I remember watching that song. I was like, oh, that's funny. It's a good video. But other than that,
I don't even remember that. When you say that, I immediately think of Bob Dylan. And I know that's not what you're talking about.
I just never, I think U2's a thing you have to be into, because, you either know a lot of their songs or you know none of them. Because I never understood the whole U2 thing. Everyone else I get. I think they're one of the few groups that I'm just like, I don't understand why people like them. I don't get it.
No, I can respect that. I don't really care for their new stuff, but if I had the chance to, and the tickets weren't ridiculously expensive, and I didn't have to arrange my schedule to go, I would absolutely go see U2 again. Easy, any day.
Very interesting. I think they're one of the few that, again, if someone's like, hey, I'm going to go see the Stones. Now, even though I'm just I'm not a Stones fan, I totally get it. I've seen him.
Amazing.
I get it. U2, I'm like, oh, I don't get it at all. And everybody, I think every other music, even Ozzy Osbourne. If someone's like, I'm going to go see Black Sabbath, I'm like, eh. And they're like, oh, but I get it. I'm like, oh, I know I get the Ozzy Osbourne thing. I get why you'd go. I totally get it but it just seems like Bono could be anyone doing anything, singing anything. And I was like, okay, well, I don't get you too. I don't get it.
I'd always heard that they were just so good live. And I never, much like, and I know you won't relate to this, I didn't think I would either. But I always heard that Garth Brooks put on like this amazing fucking show.
I totally get. Oh, no. Gee.
But I actually went to see them to see Garth Brooks when he came to town. I'm not even a country fan. I don't like country at all. But he gets a pass for some reason. And so does Willie Nelson. I'm just saying. But he gets a pass. And I paid good money to see Garth Brooks last time when he came through. He played like for 5 nights in Fresno because I had to see it for myself. I had to see what is so good about this guy. And, I was like, low places. I didn't know the name, any of the words or anything like that. But I completely get it now. Like, he is fucking captivating. And much like you too, I would go see Garth Brooks again. I would pay good money to see him again because there is just some people that they're showmen. They know how to work a crowd. They know how to get that emotion out. And he is like probably one of the best performers I've ever seen in my life. And I'm not even like a huge Garth Brooks fan, but I got to give it up to that dude.
Well, here's the thing. I like Garth Brooks because I like him.
Yeah, I think that's part of it too, man.
I like, because I've heard there's a clip randomly. First of all, when he sung at Barack Obama's inauguration, I was like, that's beautiful. I thought it was just beautiful. And
I think I know where you're going.
I saw him, random clip. He was guest hosting or something. And Denzel came on. And what was that recent Denzel movie where he's a lawyer? Something.
Oh, yeah, it's escaping me, but I know what you're talking about.
So anyway, everybody else was like, "Oh, we can't wait to see the movie." And then Garth Brooks was like, "Look, I just took my family to see it, Mr. Washington, and the way you did, and he broke it down." And Denzel was like, "Dang, you know more about the movie than I do." He's like, "No, you did this. Everything you're in, I go see." I'm like, "Oh, this dude, like, he's just a nice." He's not trying to be fake behind this desk. He's talking to Denzel Washington saying, I just took my family to go see this. And the way you did this and that thing. And Denzel's like, man, I appreciate it. I'm like, oh, he respects art. It's not just music. It's not just this. He understands art and the gift of entertaining. And I'm like, you know what? I appreciate that. I like him. He's not putting up a front. This is who he is. And he took
the movie that you're referring to is Roman J. Israel.
There it is. And for me, he was the first tangible country star that was like, oh, I get why people like. Okay, yeah. Other than that, I wasn't trying to hear no Travis Tritt or no whoever the deuce. Why would I want to see? But Garth Brooks, I'm like, oh, Friends in Low Places, Thunder Rolls, totally get it. You know what I'm saying? I was like, I get it. Because domestic violence. Yeah, I mean, he tackled that very early. You know what I'm saying? So
there's another one that got me too, man. It's called The Dance. It's a slower song.
Yeah, that one. They played that. I think I played at a friend of mine's wedding when she was she dancing with her dad? What was she doing? And I asked somebody, hey, who's singing this? And I think it was Garth Brooks. Was that the song? It was a Garth Brooks song that was really sad.
I was watching a video not too long ago. It was during that tour that I went to. But it was like much later on. And he was playing that particular song. And he was singing the song. And then the camera panned down to this lady who was in the front row. And she had a sign. They bring the signs to get their attention.
Yes.
And the sign said that I just finished my chemo session.
Oh
and I had to come to see you. And he stopped everything. The music was still playing, and he stopped, and he didn't pull her up on stage because I think she was pretty frail.
Yeah.
But he went down to her, and he just started talking to her and telling her how amazing she was, and it just I'm not doing what happened.
Wow.
Actually, I'll try and find the video. I'm gonna send it to you, dude.
Nope.
I teared up. I ain't gonna lie. And then he gave her his guitar. And,
I can't do it. There's no.
It was too much, dude.
I can't do it.
After
that that stuttering video, I just can't do that anymore. I can't do it anymore, G.
It got me, dude. I'm gonna send it to you. I'm gonna blindside you with it.
Because for real, you know what though? I think everyone needs that. I was talking to a friend of mine on Google Hangouts, and we were going back and forth, and she's like, "Hey, how often do you cry?" I said, "I think like once a month now." I was like, "How about you?" And she's like, "You know what? I don't know. I don't think I'll do that much." And I said, "You need at least a cry a month and a laugh so hard you can't breathe a month. It's a requirement. And if you have to go search for that laugh, you got to go get it. Even if you're just like, oh, I haven't laughed this month, I think it's so important that you go find it then. Get online and find something that makes you laugh super duper hard. Because I think going too long without that takes a toll, dude. Your body needs certain things.
I totally get that because, we laugh all the time, especially when we're talking, we laugh all the time. So I definitely don't have like a deficiency in laughter.
Yes.
But there are those times though, like that legit when you cannot stop laughing. I think it's like a physiological thing.
Yes. You have to leave and be like, I can't even
thing.
Look at you right now because, the funny thing is recently a friend of mine, he was like, hey man, why don't you cut? And he was like, hey man, why don't you cut your beard? And I was like, man, this junk looks dope. And I did a stupid dance and he starts laughing. So I start laughing. And then he starts laughing at me laughing. And it gets to the point where our supervisor comes in and he's like, are you guys okay? And like, we're wiping our eyes and I have to leave because I have to go into the office because I just can't. If we're in the same circle right now, this is never going to stop. And it started getting to the point where I couldn't get air into my body. But after it was done, I was like, oh, I feel, which is why I'm really like, even on your Hulu, well, on someone's Hulu, my Hulu account, I mean, ladies and gentlemen, I am concentrating on nothing but comedies because I think I love horror movies. Save, by the way. I love amazing horror movies. Oh, try. I love horror movies. They're great, but I'm just like, is it doing something? I mean, is it doing something? I need to start. For every horror movie I watch, I'm going to watch like 4 funny movies, funny shows, because I want to laugh more than because now I'm so desensitized to the horror. Nothing does. That's not a good thing. You can't, it's not tough to be able to be like, oh, that doesn't even scare me. This person getting their head sawed off. Be like, well, then that's a problem. That's not a cool thing. The fact that you're like, I could watch anything. Don't brag about that.
You're tainted, man.
Exactly. That's not and we've been taught to say, ha, that doesn't even scare me. Well, great. That means you're just dope. It should. Watching that on TV, because there's no difference from it happening in real life. That's how good the special effects are. You're technically watching someone get beheaded in real life. You're just making it so that, it's fake, so it's not that bad. I think if you saw someone get beheaded and I showed you a real clip of someone getting beheaded, you wouldn't know the difference, but it wouldn't affect you at all. Whereas if I took this movie back to the 1920s and said, hey, watch this movie, they would be puking in the seats. Why? Because they're like, why would I watch this for fun? Who would watch this for fun? Like, why? Which is why The Exorcist was so mind-boggling, because no one had seen anything like this before. But now we could watch it and be like, I can see how it was scary. That's not a good thing. That's not good. It's not a great move.
I completely know what you're getting at, and I know you were just using examples, but I can say firsthand that I can definitely tell the difference when someone gets beheaded. I remember back in like it was like 98, 99, like Napster, that time. For whatever reason, I just remember that like I was on Napster a lot. It has nothing to do with Napster, but I'm just trying to put it into a time frame. I don't even remember what I was looking at, but I clicked on this link. And it was one of those, I need to stop watching it now. I can't stop watching it. I got to stop watching it. I could not stop watching this. And I really should have. It was one of those like, it's not ISIS, but it was like one of those kind of like, those videos. And they cut this dude's head off. Trust me, there's a difference.
Here's the thing. I think today they could mimic it 100%. They could make it identical. And it would not affect us. I think
you're leaving out the human aspect of it. Like, I was watching a real live beheading with the life literally being taken from someone as they're gurgling. I mean, it was disgusting and horrific, and I'll never forget it. And I wish I could take that. I can't. like
but
forget that. Do you know what I mean?
And I think but the hard part is that's the issue I'm saying. The only thing that separates it is the humanity. It should be more than that separates it. We should be disgusted by the visual, but our brains are just used to it now.
Yeah, we're
now
all
the
fucked up.
only
You're right.
thing makes
You're
us
right.
sick that is okay, it was real, fine. Be like, no, but that visual, the fact that it does nothing to you, that is like if I just said, ladies and gentlemen, 1920s, this is fake, what I'm about to show you, they would still leave the room because they'd be like, oh my God. Regardless, it looks real. What do you guys? I'm like, yeah, but it's not a real person. Yeah, but it looks real. Why would I want to watch that? And now we're at the level of just like that. The only movie that's disturbed me recently was that one about the cannibals in the jungle. Gee, that really disturbed me.
Oh, the
red plant, the pink, the
green, something
monster, green volcano, the green
Eli
something.
Roth's movie, the green volcano,
Gee.
the green. Damn it.
That
terrible today.
Yeah, the green something. Gee, that disturbed me. It really did. And I didn't leave, but that's now one thing that can't disturb me anymore. And
It really was a disturbing movie.
It was disturbing, but now if I watch something like that, it wouldn't. Why do I want to keep doing that to myself? You know what I'm saying? Why am I going to keep doing it? And I will, but I'm glad my son doesn't watch horror movies. He's like, why do I want to scare myself on purpose? I'm like, Maj, you're right. Why would you?
Kids
want
got
to do
logic.
that? Yes, be like, I could be scared in real life. I don't want to do it on purpose. I'm like,
The Green
wow.
Inferno.
The Green Inferno. And
It
it's
was
such
driving me crazy.
Yeah, but you know what, dude? You do know, I understand it's late for you, and we do have some quizzes to get through.
Should we just take it there and then wrap it
For
up?
sure. Let's do it.
Cool, man. I like quizzes. So, hey, guys, first of all, let me just address our lovely listeners. Thank you for, thanks for sticking around if you're still with us here. I know it's not the regular show. I know we're
This
not
was a
talking
good
about what we
show,
saw, but you got to understand something. Like, Steve and I like this, and, it kind of helps that we like this because we have more fun with it. So we're hoping that you're liking this kind of thing, too.
This is so good.
This is just a very random question. That's not a random question at all. It's completely focused. Something I've been thinking about. And I'd like to turn it over to the good listeners out there. Don't worry, we're not going to do anything rash. But just out of curiosity, and I think, Steve, I think you'd be into this question. Do you think that the listeners would rather hear us do a Heroes of Noise movie review, a little bit of this and that in the news? Or do you think they like more of the pregame, us chit-chatting, going back and forth banter thing?
Yeah.
I'm curious what you guys think.
I want y'all to, I definitely want to know what y'all think because we're a community of people that are a good size right now, a perfect size where it's just like, hey, we like this more, and it's easy to turn on a dime.
Exactly. So I'm referring to several people. I'm not going to call you out by name, but if you have contacted the show in the last, since we've done it, if you've been into this here and you've contacted us recently via Twitter or email or anything like that, I'm going to name out some states so that way you know who I'm talking about. I'm going to go, not even states. I'm just going to go with where I know some of you are from. Okay, so if you're from, I don't know, Houston or maybe St. Louis or where else? Chicago, our Fresno peeps. Let us know. Seriously, like I'm genuine. I know you guys don't write in a lot, and I know we ask this a lot. Like, hey, if you leave us a review, I mean, let's face it, we don't get that kind of shit, Steve. It'll come eventually, but right now it's few and far between. But I'm genuinely asking you, if you guys are into our show and you like what Steve and I are doing, please answer this question for us. It doesn't matter. Leave us a voicemail. It doesn't matter. An email. Hit us up on Twitter. Something. But I'm genuinely curious. Just hypothetically, would you rather have a show from us? Do you like what we're doing now? You know what I mean? Like, do you like the regular Heroes of Noise format with a pregame attached on occasion? Or would you rather hear us doing this back and forth thing and just sort of talking about whatever? Like I said, we're not going to do anything rash, but it is something that we've talked about recently. So let us know, because we really do this for you. We love to do it for us, but we do this for you. So let us know, please. You can, I didn't even do I'm not even going to bother with the contact information, but I will say you can hit us up on Twitter. I guess it's contact information, but not the normal, let's hit the music shit. This is a loose freeform show. So hit us up on Twitter, at Heroes of Noise. You can hit me up at DanQPublic. You can hit Steve up at SE_Hudson Music. You can also hit us up on our webpage. You can hit us up on Facebook. And email, I almost said ask the word podcast. You could do that too. Ask the word podcast at gmail.com. That's coming back shortly. But heroes of noise podcast at gmail.com. One of these outlets, please let us know. I'm extremely curious what you guys think. All right. So that's all. Quiz me, sir.
So, I thought you were going to go first.
I don't have anything. That's
I
why we're raw dogging it.
Okay, cool. I thought you had
I was working on something, and I am still going to work on it. But
I thought you had that BuzzFeed thing.
No. Oh yeah, I do. Well, you know what though? I think yours is going to be a little more thought. Like you put thought into it.
Yes.
So let's go ahead, hit me up, and then I'll hit you up.
Okay, here we go. So, ladies and gentlemen, there's a little thing that I ask of you. I like you guys to be involved with our wonderful quizzes. So if you're alone in your car, wherever you are, try to answer these questions. But today's quiz, it all started with one day. I was laying on my wonderful couch in a great position, watching my show, enjoying the comedy. Suddenly somebody knocks on my door, and I know it's a knock that I do not recognize. You know what my question was, Dan?
Oh no! Did you? What is it? Was it Who Dis?
Yep, that was my question.
Oh, we're bringing back Who Dis. Oh,
we're bringing Who Dis, ladies and gentlemen.
Now I'm excited.
This wonderful quiz called Who Dis, where I'm going to give him an alias of a certain actor or celebrity or director, and he's going to answer with Who Dis. Are you ready, Dan?
I'm not sure, but yes, I'm very ready. Go for it.
All right,
I don't know how well I'm going to do, but I'm ready.
Number one, this actor, who starred in such movies as The Village, was born with the last name Bottom until his parents joined the Children of God cult and changed their name and hence his. Who dis?
He starred in The Village?
He was one of the stars in The Village.
Wow. I'm trying to think who was in The Village. Hold on. Let me think about this for a second.
Okay.
It wasn't Wahlberg. Wahlberg was The Happening. Oh, okay. I think I know.
Okay, give it to me.
Because he's like that kind of cat. I can see his damn face. Next Joker. Son of a bitch. Joaquin Phoenix.
That's it.
Yeah,
ding,
boy.
ding. Look at this dude.
Well, but it doesn't really take that much to think about. His name's like, his brother's name was River.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean?
That's why I wanted to give you the cult thing. So you're like, okay, who's that guy?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You got one of one, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. This singer-songwriter and actress was born with the first name Destiny until her one-hit wonder father gave her a nickname for which he is now known. Who dis?
Can you repeat that one more time?
This singer-songwriter actress was born with the first name Destiny until her one-hit wonder father gave her a nickname for which she is now known.
Ooh, that's a good one, dude. One-hit wonder father. Yeah, dude. That one. I think you got me, man. I have no idea.
Miley Cyrus. Her name was Smiles because she smiled a lot.
One-hit
Smiley,
wonder father.
Yes. I thought the one-hit wonder will give it to you.
Well, there's a lot of one-hit wonders out there.
That's true.
That's a good one. No, you got me.
I tried. Okay. So it went from Smiles to Smiley to Miley, and she legally changed her name in 2008.
Interesting. I did not know that.
All right. This actress born Margaret Mary Emily Ann Hyra was the queen of romantic comedies in the late 80s to early 2000s. Who dis?
What's her name again?
Margaret Mary Emily Ann Hyra.
Oh, just on top of my head, I'm going Meg Ryan.
That's it. Meg Ryan, ladies and gentlemen.
It was the time frame. It was the time frame that got me, dude.
She was the queen, dude. She was it.
She really was.
Now, dude, that's not bad. It's one of three. I mean, two of three. That's 2 of 3.
Yeah, I'm not doing too bad. Bad.
This actor from Children of Men and The Prestige, not to mention he played a famous butler, was born Maurice Joseph Micklewhite. Who dis?
Can I ask a hint question?
Please.
Which I already know. That, I want to. Did he star in a very big movie this year?
Oh, you know what? I don't know.
It's maybe not who I'm thinking of. He didn't, not star, but co-star. Make an appearance. I'm just going to go ahead and say Forrest Whitaker.
Michael Caine.
Ah! I heard somebody say one time, they go, if you want to talk like Michael Caine, you have to say a few words at a time.
Gee, that's actually perfect.
That's Michael Caine, man.
So, the last one. This famous comedian director with quite the shady past was born Alan Stewart Konigsberg. Who this?
Real quick, I'm going to have you ask that again, but you said Butler, and I thought of The Butler, which is where I went with Forrest Whitaker.
Oh, no, I was talking about
famous
Dark
Butler,
Knight.
Alfred.
Yeah,
Yes, I got you.
That's
I got you. All right. I'm sorry. Please repeat the
No
question.
problem. This famous comedian director with quite the shady past was born Alan Stewart Konigsberg. Who this?
Comedian director with the shady past. Can I have a hint?
Yes. He was a stand-up comedian. And the shady past has a lot to do with who he married.
Ooh. Stand-up comedian. Wow, you got me, dude. There's going to be a lot of silence, man. There's going to be a lot of game show music if I don't... I honestly have no idea, man. And I know when you say it, I'm like, oh.
Woody Allen.
He was a stand-up comedian?
Yeah.
I did not know that about him. I never would have gotten that in a million
I thought
years.
Allen was going to give it. I'm like, ugh. But I was like, with the shady past and who he married, I'm like, that might give it away.
You know, I could totally see him, like, I already know what his act would be like. You know what I'm saying?
That's exactly what it is. That's exactly what it is, what you're thinking.
Yeah.
All right. That's
yeah,
not a bad turnout. That's 3 of 5.
Not too bad. I could have done a lot better, but you know what? I'm glad you hit me with something I wasn't expecting, and that's exactly what it should be. So well done. Well done on your research, sir.
Now, I was told, okay, I had the assumption that you were a huge Metallica fan. And so I made a quiz based on Metallica trivia, but now I'm wondering how well you're going to do. But regardless, we're going to go ahead and do this thing that we call Enter Dan Man.
Oh my God. Say your prayers, little ones. Here we go.
Dan.
Yeah.
What other group is bassist Robert Trujillo a member of?
Well, Steve.
Oh,
there are
ladies
several.
and gentlemen.
There are several.
Okay.
I don't know which one you're referring to, but let's see. Let's go backwards. I'm going to go with Ozzy Osbourne.
Nice.
And then there was Infectious Grooves and also Suicidal Tendencies.
That's it.
That's it, yeah.
The one. Ladies and gentlemen, 1 of 1.
Thank you.
1 of 1.
Thank you.
All right. Cliff Burton's first band was called Easy Street, with members who would later form what group?
Ooh, that's a good one. Wow.
2 members would go on to form what famous group that you really like?
Easy Street. Why don't I know this? I know this shit.
Yes, you told. This is one that you would know.
I have to go back into the archives, though, dude. Like, that's. I haven't had any Cliff, but that's very good. You got me with some Cliff Burton trivia. I don't think I'm going to be able to answer this, dude. Were they, I don't know if you'll know this or not. Did they form a thrash group?
It was more of it was more of a alternative rock group. You want me to give the names? I will give you the names now because that'll give it away. I'll give it.
Can you give me a hint? I think no, that's not it.
I will give you a name of one of the members.
Okay.
Jim Martin.
Oh, was he? I did not know that.
Yeah. Jim, he was
Faith No More?
Yeah, he was in a group with Jim Martin and Mike Borden.
No shit.
Yes.
Wow, dude, I think you got me on that one. I don't think I know that.
Yeah. So,
good job, dude. You schooled me. You schooled the kid.
I am trying, but I knew you knew Faith. I was like, he knows this group. He really likes
schooled
this
the
group.
kid.
So
Love Faith No More.
So out of Kurt, Lars, and James, who is married with one child, married with three children, and married with no children?
Okay. I would say Kurt has no children. Okay. I've got some theories, but okay. I would say Kurt's the guy with no kids. I would say Lars has 2 and James has 3.
Yes, Lars had 1, James had 3. You got it right. How did
wait.
How did you get?
Wait. Lars has how many?
1, but you were right. Lars has 1, but James has 3. You were right.
And now, Kirk has 0.
How did you know? What made you know Kirk had 0?
I got my reasons. I'm gonna leave it at that.
Because you literally just nailed that. I was like, how did he know that? I wonder.
I'm just gonna leave it at that, Steve.
Okay.
I've got my reasons and theories. That's all I'm saying.
All right, number 4. So now you're 2 of 3. What is the only love song Metallica ever released?
Nothing Else Matters.
Oh my gosh!
A great song, by the way.
At this dude. How did you know
that's
that?
kind of easy. It's a little easy.
But how would you know that that's the only love song there? How did you know that off the top of your dome?
Because that was like a big deal when they did that song.
So they said
there was a lot that went into that. Yeah, they really went out of their wheelhouse, if you will, to do that song. They were way out of their comfort zone. Oh yeah, big time.
That's a good song, dude.
It's a really, you know what? It's undeniably a really good song. And it was really the first time I'd heard James Hetfield truly sing. You know, with a little bit of, he did that kind of shit.
Yeah, a little vibrato up in that piece.
He went, he went away from the yeahs and the whoas and all that shit and actually sang the song.
That's so weird because that's the thing that really, I was like, that sets him apart. Like when I hear that, I know it's James Hetfield.
No, it's a great song.
Okay. Oh, no, because I like that. I like hearing that in concert.
But it would have been weird in that song.
Oh, that's true.
Actually, he does one. He does do a yeah, but right before the guitar solo. But still.
It's so funny because a friend of mine at work that thinks the same way you do. When I started saying that, he was just like, "Oh, I hate that." I'm like, "That is so weird that y'all hate." He's like, "Oh, he never did that until later. That joke is annoying." I'm like, "Wow, how weird is this?"
It's kind of annoying. It is.
All right, and the last one, ladies and gentlemen.
Ooh,
what song from the album Reload has only been performed once?
Oh, dude, you're gonna get me because I think that album is audio caca. I couldn't tell you. I couldn't even tell you what songs are on that album, to be honest with you.
Oh, really? Do you want me to tell you?
You can try it, but go ahead.
Okay, let me give you the actually rundown of Reload.
I can go to like iTunes and check it out if you want.
No, I got it. Here we go. All right, so here are the songs from Reload. Fuel, Memory Remains.
Definitely not either of those.
Devil's Dance. The Unforgiven 2, Better Than You, Slither, Carpe Diem Baby, Bad Seed, Where the Wild Things Are, Prince Charming, Low Man's Lyric,
gosh,
Attitude,
do you see why I didn't?
And Fixer.
Do you see why I didn't listen? I really don't know, man. I would be taking a guess on this here.
Go for it.
I don't even remember the names now after you said them because they're so stupid.
And oddly enough, this is one of the songs I know from them.
Really? Okay.
Because I heard it on the radio.
Then you just gave me a hint. It wasn't Unforgiven 2, was it? No, they played that shit a lot. What are the songs again? Name it one more time. I'm sorry.
Okay, I'm going to mess you up. It was Unforgiven 2.
Oh, it was? Really?
Yeah, they've only performed it once, and that was at a Billboards Awards.
Really? I could have sworn... You know what? Maybe that was one of those I'm going to go get a beer things. I really thought that I've heard that song live, but I hate it.
Can I ask you why? Okay, before we let you go, can you
want to know why?
That is such a... I thought it was a cool song.
Because it's a sequel. And then they made a third one, if I'm not mistaken.
But the sequel's dope.
But then in the song, he says, "You're Unforgiven too," as in TOO.
Yeah.
So he actually played on it. No, that's lame, dude. That's weak sauce.
Oh, my... What? You don't like the dual... Like the... Oh, you see what I did there?
You know it's a good song? The Unforgiven.
Is it really?
Why do I need an Unforgiven 2? Why not just make it a different song?
But was it a continuation of the first? Was it like saying, hey, if you ever wonder what happened to these people from the first, I'll tell you?
Yeah, I have no need for that.
It was popular on the radio. I used to hear that. I'm like, you know what? This song isn't bad. I liked it more than Nothing Else Matters.
I think it was just the whole sequel thing that got me. I never gave it a chance, and I don't think I'm going to start now.
That's not going to happen for you, huh?
Hater, huh? What a hater I am.
Gee, you really did really good for someone who's like, I'll try my best. Gee, do you think, okay, here's a question. Do you think...
I'm a little mad about that Faith No More one. I should have gotten that.
I mean, that's a really, I mean, that was taken from a fairly deep quiz, dog. I'm not going to lie.
No, yeah. And I mean, like I've told you, they're not a band that I've ever like just researched and really dove into it, you know?
The only reason I picked that is because I'm like, he likes both of these groups. So Faith No More, I've heard you talk about the lead singer so much. So I was like, okay,
yeah,
let me try this. But yeah, they just happened to go into different, they just happened randomly to turn into two mega, well, would Faith No More be a mega group? Like, are they a mega hit?
No. They had one humongous hit.
That thing was huge, dude.
Is kind of one of their worst songs, to be honest with you. But it was a huge hit for them.
That thing was free. Just like, I guess I did not know In Excess was more than just that one, You Were Standing, You Were There, Never Let Set You Apart, and New Sensation. Those are the only two In Excess songs I know. That's it.
I like In Excess a lot. I actually know more In Excess than I do.
Maybe I'll do In
New
Excess
Metallica
next time. Maybe I'll do In Excess.
I don't think I would do well at those. I don't know any like 80s band trivia really. I think the only one that I could even get close to would be something like Duran Duran.
I'll get you Duran Duran. Come on.
God damn it! Why do I do? See,
come
do you see?
on.
Do you see how I set myself up for this,
dude? Duran.
And good night, everyone. Thanks for listening to Heroes Noise.
That is so... Ladies and gentlemen, we just ended on the perfect note. Look, I'm not going to lie. I'm going to say I had so much fun with this episode. I literally had super duper fun on the... Now, I have a feeling our fun is going to seep into the ears of our listeners. Like, the fun is just going to be contagious. Especially talking about... We went from steaks, to Metallica... You know what I'm saying? To cast iron skillets, and if they're a farce, which we will see if they're a farce, because I'm going to get one, and if it's bull jive, I'm going to be so pissed off. If it is just
talked about bidets again.
We talked about how I'm going to make a video log of a video log. You see what I did there?
I do. I'm not commending you for it, but I do see what you did there.
I didn't think about that. I'm gonna do a video log to tell you how I liked my bidet. And you know what I was thinking?
You call it a log.
Here's the funny thing. What I was thinking before we get off. You know what I want to do with you one day?
What's that?
I want to go to a haunted place and vlog our experience at said haunted place for fun during Halloween. Like if we could get a place that would let us stay in that place or have a public area, a public place or whatever, like a psychiatric institute, and we just stay there and say, we're not buying the haunting.
Stay the night?
Yeah.
I don't think you'd do it.
Oh, brother.
You're afraid of werewolves.
There ain't no werewolves.
You're going to stay in a house?
There ain't no werewolves, so I ain't worried about it.
Are there not, though?
Hell no.
Can you say that for sure?
I am sure enough that I would stay. Like, if they let us, I would stay at Alcatraz overnight. No problem.
What if you were sitting in the dark? We're just sitting in the dark waiting for something to happen. And you just hear, Steve. What would you do?
I would say it's Dan. Now, if I heard
I'm like way across the room talking about, what's up, man?
Okay.
I was just checking out this house.
Here's what I'll say. If I heard that, it changes the way I view the world. Everything's possible now. There's vampires. Right then. Everything is alive then. Because
what would you do?
I would immediately I'd probably be so caught up in rethinking existence that I wouldn't know. That would be my main thing. Me dying wouldn't trip me out. Me rethinking existence would trip me out. Like, am I here? Is this a real thing? Like, I would have to think, wait a minute, what if we're haunting them and they think they're alive? Everything changes now. Everything changes.
Hey, man, Work it out. Start to plan something. I might
We
do
could
that
totally
with you,
do it, G. Like, if we could find a place where old Sparky is and say we're going to sleep in the same room as the electric chair. Oh, my God. That might get me. You know what? Me just saying that might be the thing. That might be the thing. That might be the thing, dude.
Where tons of people just died and they died right there for sure.
Oh, my gosh, dude.
Wow. I don't know. I doubt you could work that out.
Could you do it?
I think so, but I would be lying to you. I mean, it's weird. It's weird because I say I don't really believe in ghosts and things like that. You know what I mean? But even though we've had that one episode, I think it was like our second episode, where we were talking about like freaky things that have happened that we can't explain. It was like the Halloween show, I believe is what it was. But there's still that like, do I? You know what I mean? Because like,
dude, totally.
All it would take would be one thing to convince me, and then I'd be done.
That would be it. And that would be it. And the problem is, here's the issue with that. If we're stuck on Alcatraz, that one event, we can't just be like, wow, that was crazy. Nope. Now the one event turned into, dang. And this is the one night I'm going to experience this, and I'm never going to leave this island. It would have been nice to have left and been like, wow, remember we saw that ghost at Alcatraz? Now we're stuck for the night. We're like, well.
Hey, you know what might be easier to do? Is to do go with some ghost hunters or something like that. That might be even more attainable.
I bet you we can do it. I bet you we could do
think so.
that, Dan.
I think so. Is there anyone out there that can help us out with that? We want to go ghost hunting.
We could just email them.
But I want someone to reach out to us and take us on a crazy adventure.
I would love to. And you know what? Here's the thing. Eventually, my goal is this. This is my eventual goal, to disprove all this silliness. I will go... What I will right when I said it, something was just like, Steve, calm down. No, I'm gonna say it. I will sit in Old Sparky for an hour.
Oh yeah, that is a
would you match me?
If you can arrange that, I'll match you.
Holy
and you have it, and it's now recorded, so I'll do it.
But I'm not putting on the helmet because there's too many glitches in the Matrix that might accidentally. Yeah. I will make if everything's unplugged, I have no trouble.
Would you sit? I'm starting to get quiet because I actually do have to like turn it down now because it's late for me, folks. Would you sit in the chair, strapped in?
Holy cow, no, nope. And I don't know why I wouldn't. That's an interesting question.
Isn't it interesting? What just a little subtle change?
Yeah, why wouldn't I do that? Because I know it's not going to turn on. I'm not worried about it turning on. What am I worried about then?
My theory, you're claustrophobic and you don't know it.
Dan, you might be freaking right.
I'm pretty sure you're claustrophobic, dude.
Oh yeah, I couldn't.
I don't want to talk about why I know that for obvious reasons. Yeah. But
I don't like it.
But yeah,
because I could be trapped in a cell. If they put me in a cell, fine. I would be like, okay, fine. But if they take my wrist and like strap me down to I don't know, I'd be fine with that too. I think if they. Oh, maybe, you know what? Maybe I would. As long as they don't put something over my face. As long as my face is free, I'll do it. I can't have something over my face, though.
I'm going to hold you to it.
Dan, I think we're going to be... They'll probably be like, if you're dumb enough to do it, fine. We'll pick you up in the morning. If you're dumb enough to do this, have fun. I don't know if...
All right.
Okay, we'll look into it. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the last thing I'm going to say. I had so much fun this episode. I can't wait to hear if you guys do. If I don't hear anything from anyone...
I'm taking it personally.
Dude, I'm going to cry, and we're just going to do this all over again next week. And people are going to be like, what movies did you see? Don't worry about it. Here's the next quiz. You know what I'm saying? Here's the next quiz. Dan's happening today.
I'm legitimately reaching out to the listeners. I really am asking you guys to answer that question. Do you like what we're doing today? Do you like our regular show? Would you like to hear more of this? Please let us know.
All right. Holla at you. I love you. We'll see you next week. The next voice you're going to be hearing is Dan signing off.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for listening to Heroes of Noise, episode 25. Thank you for letting us get loose on this beautiful evening. And we will see you in 7 days. You mark my damn words on that. For the Heroes of Noise, my name is Dan Ramirez. And like I always say at the end, peace.
Pregames.